Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, all of a sudden now I'm all. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Your costume doesn't show too much. All I see is like, there you go. There you go.
I'll pan down a little bit. Let's see if I can pan down just so it won't get my head.
That's a nice jacket, though. Where'd you get the jacket?
Wally World.
Really?
Yeah, got it at Wally. This was a couple of years ago. It's a little tight on me. I gained some lbs. I've gained some pounds over the years.
Oh, well, if you
a little tight, can't quite button it, but it's.
If you ever want to get rid of it, just let me know. Hey, Arcade, Chepe, what's going on? How's everybody doing? So I decided I was gonna just do what I did last year and be a nerd. I feel like that's the easiest thing to do. I don't have to put makeup on and all that mumbo jumbo, you know.
Yeah, understood. I mean, it's dressing up for Halloween can be a big ordeal, or it can be a less ordeal. I was going to dress up in my other outfit that I wore in my last video, but boy, oh boy, it's hot. That thing is a heavy fabric, and it goes here, and you can only see like this much of my face, and the thing that's right here muffles my voice, and it is very thick and hot. So
yeah, and George wasn't liking that because you weren't enthusiastic. So
right, he definitely wanted more enthusiasm. Yeah. So
what's up, James Catfish? How's everybody doing? See, if I was going to like a Halloween party, then maybe I would be more extravagant. But my kids are all older, so there's no really. I wasn't involved in a Funkoween swap or anything, you know. So there's no reason for me to dress up. So.
Yeah, understood. I mean, I'm, my wife's out of town, so I'm just hanging out here. I'll watch some scary movies most likely and eat potato chips. I don't know. I'm gonna turn the lights out. I don't have any kids that come to my house, luckily. I'm on a main street. They don't bother me. I'm not good at giving out candy. I mean, I just either feel like I need to give too much or I'm not giving enough. I don't know. I just, so.
You should dress up in your other costume and just sit at the door and be like,
I've done that in years past. I was dressed up.
Welcome to the
I was dressed up and pretend like I was a dummy. I was had straw sticking out of and I had a shirt and had like a pumpkin thing on my head. I sat really still and the kids would come up. I go, oh! And the thing is like little kids, you got to be really careful because they'd run away and you never see them again. It's not like, oh, and they just kind of get the candy. They just take off,
crying and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Just what you
need. So what you been up to? Hey, Ginger.
Been pretty quiet. I've been trying to put out some more videos lately and do some things like that. But yeah, for the most part, it's been pretty quiet. I mean, I'm just trying to do some work down in my little area down here, see if I can get this place pulled together. So,
any more progress?
No. I keep calling people. I called an electrician. He's supposed to come Thursday, so we'll see if that actually they show up. So, but it's hard to find people to do anything now. Everybody wants to. They either want a lot of money, or they don't want to show up, or both. So stuff. So I'm not very handy. So I can't.
A few things around in here and adding things and deciding to get rid of some stuff. And
is this the new studio or the old area?
The new one.
I was going to say it looks differently oriented in there for sure.
It's not completely finished, but it's good enough for now. And so it gives me more room to move around and stuff. So
are you going to put more shelves in the back there, or are you would
all the way to the floor? And then on this side is going to be an accent wall, and it's going to have shelves on it. And then there's a small little wall over here that's going to have shelves, and then I have shelves going up over there. So.
Have you moved everything in already, or you still got some more?
No, I have 3 or 4 totes in here, but the other studio is boxes upon boxes and like 4 or 5 more totes over there. And like I said, I'm having to decide what I want to get rid of because I have too much. I mean, it'll all probably fit once it's done, but the sodas have kind of taken over. As you can see right here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves of just sodas. And then not all of them are up there. And then I have about 2 shelves of sodas here because these are my Chase and my commons. Those are all just common.
I see.
So the sodas have kind of taken over a bit.
Yeah, I'm running out of space myself. I have mine on these like little shelves that within my glass case. Can't really see it on camera, but my brother's got to build some more of those things. And he's like, I called him up. He's like, I don't have the information to dimension, so I sent it to him. He's like, you need like 1 or 2? I was like, I need 6. I'll basically fill 3 of those glass cabinets just with what I have, and I got more sodas coming. So we have to figure out some other better way, I guess. So I don't know.
Hey, Danny. Hey, Mark. How's everybody doing? Yeah, so I don't know how I don't know, but all my sodas are probably going to go here when it's done. And then like my main stuff, so my Freddies are at the top, my cereals are all here, and then my ad icons will probably be here. And then on my at the bottom of my accent wall, I have a not the bottom, but the accent wall, I'm going to have a Batman sign that lights up and does all kind of tricks and stuff. Cool. And underneath that is where all my black light pops are going to go. And then I'm going to have a light shining on them so then you can see how cool they look. Hey,
are you going to leave them in the box or take them out?
I am going to leave them in the box. The only thing I take out of box is Star Wars because I like the way they look out of box, and 10-inch. But I just got the 10-inch Blacklight Hulk, but I don't want to take him out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I take a few things out of the box. The big ones I do, the 10-inch.
Yeah, me too, because the box just take up so much room.
Yeah, well, that, and I think they look really good out of the box, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see them real well. But the, I'm sort of going back and forth. Like, I want to do like a Blacklight box, like a lot of people. It's, sort of a reminiscent of what everyone else is doing. I'm sort of thinking I may take those out of the box, just keep the boxes in mint shape.
Yeah.
Stuff, but I don't know. I'm still sort of thinking about it. That's probably going to happen in my other area when I get that. Whenever I can get that finished. So
yeah, that's like me. I don't know when mine's going to get finished. I was surprised that all this got done, but he wanted to get just at least this done for the 1K. So now I can just hang out in here because I'm not even going to stay in this spot. I have a corner desk over there. That way you'll be able to see almost the whole room when I sit over there.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. And then I'm planning on doing a live where I do a room tour of all the different areas and show what people have given me over the past year and stuff like that. Nice. So, yeah. Hey, Angie.
Yeah, I like this. I like the one of a kind stuff. I have some stuff too that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with. I've gotten a couple one of a kind pops. I actually got one of my pop box. I don't know if people saw it or not. If people haven't seen my last video, I got this from Frog Prince Vlog. You can sort of see it, not real well, but you can sort of see in there that.
Did you take it out of the box?
Yeah, I can take it out.
Did you on the video though?
Yeah, I did. On the end of the video, I put it on the spinner at the end, so you can see it. I put it on there with all the other pops that I took out of the box. But,
hey, Christina. I don't
really good. You did a good job.
I think I didn't see the end of the video.
You're supposed to see the entire thing. I'm trying to build my hours. Try help.
No, I walked away and then got occupied, and I was like, "Dang it! I see the rest of it."
You have to have full focus when watching my videos. Someone else's videos, you can.
Hey, I'm very committed, so don't even go there. I watch almost every video you put out.
I know.
Hey, Ezra. Hey, Root Crew.
You can sort of
look at that.
It's kind of blurry. It's like green and red. It almost looks kind of Christmassy. It's got like glittery effect on it. It looks really cool when you put like lighting effect on it. So wherever there was, I thought it was slime, but I think it was the marshmallow one. It's like covered with, marshmallow when the Marshmallow Man blew up. He did a cool job. Like I said,
did you see the custom he did with Harley Quinn?
No, does he do customs like normally? Like,
I think he just started doing them. He has the this Harley Quinn, and he glittered her the Mardi Gras colors.
Oh, very cool.
And I'm like, okay, I need one of those. And then he did some other custom for the Funko Pops and Unicorns is going to have, her and Umpty are going to have a Toys for Tots auction. to raise money for Toys for Tots, and he custom something for the auction. Hey, Hojo, what's going on?
Very cool.
I appreciate everybody coming in, showing us some love on Halloween. We're a little spooky. I don't know if I'm spooky, but
it's not really the spooky.
Normal.
I don't like spooky. Spooky scares me. I started watching a spooky movie last night. Again, my wife's gone. I'm the only one in this house. And, you know, I started watching a spooky movie. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. Those things scare me. I don't like stuff like that. So even like kids spooky movies sometimes will freak me out a bit. So I was just like, man,
that's so
I decided not to watch them.
Well, Eric left this on my computer. You want to see it?
Sure. Whenever next time you say, "Hey, Eric," I'm going to say no. Please stop.
He has gotten some love out of that thing.
He has gotten a lot of mileage out of that thing. I'm glad he was able to get. If you do something, you might as well keep using it. I guess I don't.
And he still tells people, "Hey, if you have a bad issue, call me." y'all two are something else.
Oh, I'll tell you, delightful.
So you don't like spooky movies? That's crazy.
Not particularly. No, I don't care for them. I was trying to think the last spooky movie that I've seen. I don't know. What was the last spooky movie you see? You watch spooky movies?
Yeah, not as much as I used to. I want to say maybe one of the Conjuring movies.
Okay.
Those, I really like those.
Mine was probably like The Ring and The Ring 2. Once I saw Ring 2, I was like, I'm done here. I can't do this anymore to myself. I mean, I just, not my thing.
I hope treatments go well for Mama Hojo. Prayers are with you and her. Hope y'all are safe and have a good week.
Agreed. What kind of treatments are you talking about? Just some sort of medical treatments or something?
I don't know. He just said catching up before I go get Mama ready for her treatments this week. Living the dream, LOL.
I hear you.
He puts out some good videos. Do you watch him?
Hojo?
Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar with Hojo.
He does a lot of, he'll go out and explore, I think around like Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and stuff like that. He went to this goat place once. It's some cool stuff. He went to...
It's not like collectible stuff. It's something different than...
Yeah, he went to a sane asylum, I think, museum or something. Not long ago.
It's a museum. I thought he got put in an asylum.
He also does challenges. Like he did, I want to say a beef jerky challenge. He did some kind of, like he'll try different beef jerkies.
I was going to say, just eating the most beef jerky, or is it like trying different ones?
Trying different ones. He does all kind of different stuff. It's pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I'll check you out, Hojo, and see what it looks like.
They're not real long videos, so you have time to,
I'm sorry?
They're not real long videos, so you can, if you have a little bit of time here and there, you can, catch them.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Like I said,
he's a nice guy too.
Huh. Very good. Yeah, I'll get a chance to meet a lot of new people lately. I've gotten a couple people have spoken to me. I'm looking forward to getting into a few more channels, etc. So widen my range.
He said she had a double mastectomy and we are at the end of our radiation treatments. Things are getting better. And he said he eats things and goes places. So yeah, he's a real. I don't know how I came across him, but yeah, he's a real nice guy. I think an Arcade Pops video game stream one night.
I see.
Arcade streams video games, and there's people that go in and out all night long, and we just have become some kind of like little family in there. Just don't tell the newbies about the hotel parties you had, Barbarian.
Those were not parties. It was indigestion problems. That's not a party.
Oh, Eric, you just missed. I did the little thing you did for Barbarian with the bats. Hey, MDC, what's going on?
Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm just grateful that it's not a real number and people are actually calling me because I can't deal with that stuff. So.
Let's see if I can find Hojo, and I'll drop his link.
Okay.
So everybody can go sub to Hojo.
Hojo.
Hojo. Copy. Paste. Alrighty, there you go. Everybody go sub Hojo. Oh, thanks, Mad Hatter. It's the same thing I wore last year. I just threw it all together. It's this little set, the little suspenders, the bow tie, and the glasses all came in a little thing from Walgreens last year for like $6. And then this is my original channel t-shirt, which I've only worn like 2 or 3 times. And that's
you look
it.
like that little kid from Problem Child. Remember that movie Problem Child?
I remember
John Ritter in it.
movie, but I don't remember.
You look just like him. Just like
really?
him. Yeah.
Yeah, you look like a problem child too.
I'm not. George Lucas. Billionaire director.
Hope we get you a couple more subs anyway.
So you said no trick or treating. You're over
No, my son will be in 2 weeks. He'll be 17. So, and he's the youngest. So there's no more babies in my house.
You're getting old, Sassy. Getting old. I mean gotten old.
Yeah, shut up. He's going to a friend's house later, and then I think there's a thing at church with the high school kids. It's called senior high or something like that. It's like 11th and 12th graders maybe, and they're going to hang out and do whatever they do. I don't know. Like
11th and 12th graders hanging out sounds like bad news to me.
Well, it's at church, so it can't be too bad.
I know, but those churches can get rowdy.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, he's a good kid though. I haven't really found anything that he's like I've caught him in. You know, like some kids you catch him.
He's good at hiding stuff then, because if you haven't caught him in anything, it means he's
that might be all. That might be it. But for the most part, yeah, he's a really good kid. He almost has straight A's right now, actually, and he does his own laundry, takes out the trash, he cooks his food if he doesn't like what we cook.
I can't even get my wife to do any of those things.
Sometimes he cooks supper for it, like he'll make us pancakes or eggs, or so he'll cook sometimes. Very sweet kid.
That's good. I mean, because it's not just about doing those things at home. It also prepares someone for when they go out on their own. They're actually able to do those things.
Absolutely. I tried to teach my oldest son all that, and he's like, I don't want to know all that. He says, I'll figure it out when I move on my own. And I'm like, okay, whatever, fine, And then my daughter, she learned all that stuff, and she's a very responsible adult for the most part. She is an EMT and is currently in paramedic school. She just recently bought herself a new car. She pays all her own bills, so.
What kind of car did she get? Mercedes?
She got a 2020 Toyota Corolla maybe, or Toyota. Nice. It's a nice car, yeah. I want to say Corolla or Camry. It's one of the bigger Toyotas, not like the little bitty ones.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, yeah. And she pays her own rent and electricity and all insurance and all that. So, the only thing we pay is her cell phone bill. And that's like.
Can you pay mine? Can I get on your plan?
Hers is only like $30, so she really could pay it herself, but.
It's good.
We just are still doing it. I don't know why, but
well, doesn't sound like too much of a burden for sure.
Right. So, we tried to do the best we could with them. So hopefully they become productive citizens.
If I had a child, most likely it'd be an axe murderer. So that's why I never had a child, because my dad cursed me. I remember a time when I don't know if I've told you this story or not. I was at an airport and we had gone to Disney World. I was in 5th grade. I was 10 years old. Did I tell you the story?
No.
Okay. So we lived in Maine and we had flown down to Florida, had a great week in Disney World, and we're in the airport getting ready to go back. So we're sitting there waiting for our plane, and we're looking up at the TV, and like I said, I was 10, something like that, and they're showing a blizzard, Bangor, Maine. That's where we were flying into. This horrible blizzard. I mean, just feet and feet and feet of snow. I didn't even know how the plane could even fly in there, but anyway, so I told my dad, I was like, I'm not going back. He said, oh, yes, you are. You're getting on that plane because we're all going back. And I said, well, why don't we just stay here, blah, blah, blah. And I was making a scene in the airport, and my dad was a priest, an Episcopal priest. He'd have his collar on. Every place we'd go, he would, be dressed up like a priest. So I said, no, I said, I'm not going back. I was right in his face. I'm not going back. He grabbed me by the shirt and pulled me right to this far from his nose. If you don't get on that plane, I'm going to kick you in the balls. And I looked at him and I said, you're going to kick me in the balls? And then everyone like in the general area just stopped and turned and looked. And my dad was horrified that I had just embarrassed him in this way. He let me go. I took off running as fast as he could. He had his umbrella. He's chasing me through the airport, swinging that umbrella at me. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Wow. Yeah. Eric, you said you were going to come up with some questions for me to send to him. That's what I was under, because you know him better and you had specific questions you wanted to ask. So, no, I have one question. That's it. But I can do the rest if you want me to.
Who him are you referring to?
The luau is coming on Tuesday.
Who?
The luau.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Oh, no problem, Hojo. Anytime. I love to help. We're all supposed to be family and support each other and show each other love when possible. So
sure, why not? I agree.
Sure, why not? You didn't sound too convincing.
I mean, was I supposed to try to convince him? I agree. I mean, that's the best you can get out of me today is agreement. Basic agreement.
Yeah. How big is your bag of chips?
It's a full bag. I mean, it's not a full bag anymore. It was a full bag. Now it's half a bag.
Yeah.
It's mostly air. You know how they do. They just.
Mine's little.
Oh, yeah. My wife went out of town. She's like, well, what are you going to get yourself for dinner? I said, I'm sure I'll make something. I called Domino's. So that's what I made. I made a phone call to Domino's. So cheeseburger pizza, my new favorite.
Okay.
Have you had cheeseburger pizza before?
No, I've never had cheeseburger pizza.
It's good.
But I do have a letter to open from the Roo Crew.
Okay.
They have a Scooby-Doo stamp. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, fancy.
You ever watch the Roo Crew? I
do. I watch them from time to time. I need to do a better job. People have gotten on me. Like, it's nice to see you back again. I'm like, darn, man. People are tracking me. I'm just like, look, I'm trying to do my best, but I just like, there's so many people that I want to watch. I try to do as best I can. I keep missing.
You fuss when we don't make comments on your videos. So the least
I know, but I'm a narcissist. I've explained it to you. My world, the center of my world is me. Okay. Nothing personal. It's just how it is.
Oh, okay. So.
Oh, look at that. Formal letter.
Fancy, huh?
Very formal.
Happy Halloween. Thank you so much for your support, the support of your channel. Recently, Emily decided to end our videos with slap that monkey butt cheeks. Where that came from, I don't know, but it's here to stay, it seems, LOL. Umpty Scratch is an amazing supporter of our channel, and he designed an awesome sticker for us. We hope you enjoy. We also included our Roo Crew sticker. We've got some amazing things planned coming up on our channel. We hope you enjoy. We also hope to see you stopping by, hopping with the Roo Crew on Fridays at 7 Eastern, which I used to go in for like a brief moment, or I would just stop in, or I have it playing. I just don't chat. Like, it's hard to chat all the time in the groups, when live streams are going. So most of the time I have them on. I'm just not chatting.
Right.
We look forward to having more guests on the channel. Reach out if you would be interested in coming on. Thank you, the Roo Crew, John, Jenny, and Annie, and Emily. And it has all their info at the bottom. And they included the little Roku.
Nice.
And then the Slap That Monkey Butt Cheeks sticker that Umpty designed. So that's awesome. Cool. I got 2 new stickers to put in my new sticker book that I got for my birthday from BK Fits.
So that's where you put your stickers in a sticker book?
Yeah. And then I also have some sticker boards. I got to figure out where I'm going to put those that I had originally started putting the stickers on. So, I don't know.
Well, I've got my little skateboard here, but it's full. Now I got a second skateboard. So the problem is there's just not enough. There's not much room on there. They just fill up so quick. So
yeah,
I probably have to go.
I think because the stickers are so big, you know.
Some people have really big stickers. I mean,
yeah.
I put it on there, it would take up so much room. So yeah, but
yeah,
whatever. Yeah, it's interesting. Slap That Monkey Butt Cheeks. That's sort of an interesting, kind of a random thing to sort of pop up, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Well,
how do you not know where that comes from, though? That's the part, I guess, the part that sort of blows my mind a bit.
Well,
it's just like I'm not going to say randomly a word coming up, and people are like, I don't know where it came from. But it seems like a whole sentence, you would have some idea. No?
Well, Emily's young, so you know when you're little and stuff like that, just random things pop in your head, and you just say whatever's on your mind.
I do that now. I
know, and you're old,
right?
Well, it happens when you're young, and it happens when you're old. So,
and in between, it did the same thing. I'm basically the same person I was when I was 3. I have not changed.
Hey, Ryan,
aside from the beard.
He said, "Thought this was Sassy's channel. Where's she at?" Ruker said Emily is very random. So there you go.
There you go.
I want to see a video of BBC ride a skateboard. Yeah, wouldn't we all?
So you want to see the full video of me going to the emergency room and all that stuff too? That'd be pretty interesting, I think. Yeah, sure. I tried when I was a child. When I was a kid, skateboarding was like, really kind of get starting and stuff like that. And these kids had a skateboard, and I told my parents, "Hey, I want a skateboard," and they didn't really buy me things. And so they're like, "No, you're gonna kill yourself."
Buy you things?
Well, no, we didn't have a lot of money, so they're like, "Yeah, we'll get you blah blah," and they're like, "I don't think it's a good idea. You're gonna hurt yourself." So I'm thinking, oh, they're just being cheap. So I had a friend that had one, and I tried it a few times, and I did hurt myself. So they actually hit the nail on the head that time.
They were right for once.
I'm not very coordinated. Not very coordinated.
Right. So the Roo Cruise 1K celebration is November the 19th, in case anybody wants to know. Hey, Umpty. They are going to be celebrating that on the 19th.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
They're going to each give something away that they're in their fandom that they collect. So, like, I think Emily's giving away a Grogu or Baby Yoda.
Cool.
Eric said that explains everything.
I don't think it explains everything. It explains some. There's many more stories to come. I don't want to put them all out there on the same day, So.
And then, oh yeah, you have plenty of stories. So
sure I do. Sure. And they are true. I know there are doubters in there. I told my wife, I was like, I need to find a way to get a lie detector test where I'm connected to it when I'm telling these stories, because people think that I'm lying or embellishing. I don't even need to embellish them. This is just the way they are. So,
and then John is going to give a Motu, and then I think Jenny's going to give either Harry Potter or DC something away. And I don't remember what Andy likes.
Did you get all your packages out for your... I was going to say you had a million things to sign up. I cannot imagine the shipping for something like that. Doesn't that sound like...
Well, the thing about it is I am in a Christmas swap as we speak, and that has to be shipped first. Yeah. And then I'm going to do my 1K.
A Christmas swap has to be shipped first? It's not even November yet. Why would you have to ship anything?
Well, we were supposed to ship them yesterday, but it got extended till we have a Gizmo. That's right. We have until Tuesday to ship them. Mama J likes to get it out early. I guess to have time to get there and for
people. Well, especially now. I mean, shipping is really messed up now. Well, I definitely can see nowadays, but that does.
Once I get those shipped, because I did a box and then CAJUN did a box. So I've been working on getting those 2 filled because I paid for both. And so I got to get all that done and shipped off. And then from there, then I'm going to go to my 1K stuff. And then I'm going to, hey, Obi. And then I'm going to start shipping all that, which mostly was just like gift cards. So that's not too bad. Like I have like 3 or 4 T-shirts, and then
so you have physical gift cards. You can't send like digital gift cards.
I mean, I probably could. That would be way easier. I just haven't looked into it yet because I'm trying to go one thing at a time. Too many things. I'm just like, I can't keep up. So,
understood.
And then after that, once I get all the 1K stuff out of the way, then I'm gonna start building my which I've already started. Each Patreon is gonna get a Christmas box from me.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So I started trying to figure out what everybody likes and stuff like that.
You're gonna put a bunch of pops in there, or you're gonna put just like a small thing in there? What's included in it? Just to get people hyped for Patreon for Sassy? What does one get in a?
They're actually all individually detailed. Like it just depends on what the Patreon collects, and
I collect grails. So what I'll do is I'll sign up for Patreon, and then when I get my grail, then I will cancel my Patreon. Does that sound good, or would that work?
No, that doesn't work.
It seems to work.
You can't just sign up in December, get a box, and you can't just sign up and think you can get a box in December. December, you know what I'm saying? You have to have been Patreon for a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
I get you. Yeah.
So certain people collect certain things, so I want to try to put some themed stuff in each person's box, and candy and some stickers and stuff like that. So I mean, nothing huge, but just a little something to say, thanks for supporting me this year, and
How many Patreons do you have? How many boxes are you gonna have to make?
24.
Oh, that's a good number. That's a good number. Yeah.
So, and then some are higher tier Patreons, so they would pretty much get a bigger box.
I got you.
So we'll see how it all goes. Depends on how generous I'm feeling. I'm using Patreon
just on a whim. So if she's having a good day, folks, you're going to get a good box. If she's having a crappy day, you might get a crusty dog turd. I don't know.
Right, you never know. I'm actually going to use all Patreon money for November for the boxes, and probably December's money as well. So none of it will go back to the channel. It'll just all go back to Patreon. And then like half of my Patreon money that I get every month goes back out anyway, because I support like 15 other channels. So
I got
you.
Yeah. Let's see.
Usually if I get a new one, then I'll find a new channel to support. So
let's see. Is Pepto a grail? Pepto a grail for BBC? Yeah, I don't think so. If you two boys, if you're looking for something to buy me, my #1 grail, and it's not super expensive. Like some people's #1 grail is like a $10,000 Funko Pop. Mine isn't. Alan and Baby Carlos. That's the one pop that I want.
Kind of expensive though.
I mean, it is expensive, but it's not like it's like I think it's going for $250 right now, maybe $300, something like that. That's not super expensive. Pop's worth more than that.
I mean, yeah, it's not that bad. I know somebody who has one out of box.
Oh yeah, they're looking to trade.
I doubt it.
They really like that one. Yeah, I actually have like
that one too.
I have an anime pop that's worth $330, and I'm just like, I guess I could sell it. I don't really sell anything, so it's sitting over there. And I was thinking maybe at some point, maybe I could find that one person that would be interested in swapping that pop for it. So, but
did you see my newest grail that I got from the 1K?
Yeah, I was on the 1K.
Did you help pay for?
I chipped in on that, just so you know.
Said that you helped pay for.
That's right. It was really a timeshare. My understanding was from Eric and the other folks, it was timeshare. So I really think it's my month for it to be at my house. So you can ship that to me, and I'll have it behind me for a month, and then I'll ship it on. I'll ship it back.
I put it in a pop armor too.
Oh, that's
one
nice.
of the ones with the magnetic tops.
Yeah, I have a couple.
This is my highest pop now.
Wow, it's good.
Yeah, so it's really nice.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice
Just
one.
hit me up with your bank account and I will get it for you, BBC.
Eric, you have lots of money. Okay, just don't be so cheap. Right? Christmas is right around the corner. I mean, I'll give you a hug. I'll give you a virtual hug if you send it to me. You know what I mean? Is that too much to ask?
Yeah.
So you said Umpty Scratch is makes stickers and stuff like that. Is that something he does just arbitrarily, or is this something he's doing like as a thing? I'm trying to get someone to design me a sticker, and I'm running into a little bit more trouble than I guess I thought I was. Because one person I was going to ask to do it, I guess he's busy, so I've just I'm not trying to bother anyone, so I guess I'll go with someone else.
He does it for fun, and then Nancy YEAHBOY makes stickers. So you reach out to her. She does great work, and then Eric does make stickers and intros and all that too.
Yeah, I need one for the other live group, the Pop the Chaos group.
Oh,
everyone's doing stickers, so I'm just trying to come up with a sticker. We need to come up with a sticker, a Sassy Barbarian sticker.
I know.
The only sticker I have is I have my one sticker for my logo, and I was just like, I'll get stuff from people. It seems like every time I get stuff from people, they have at least 2 or 3 stickers, and I'm like, I feel inadequate. Okay, I have.
Well, you have the postcard. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I like the postcard. I'm very happy with it, but I want more stickers.
Yeah, we definitely need to do some merch for but I'm not good at designing all that, so we need
me neither. That's the point.
Like we need a thumbnail too that I can just slap up there every time, so your wife doesn't have to make one every time.
Well, she does a good job with it, but she gets super stressed about all my thumbnails, and then So anyway,
that's why I said if we had one particular one, like Umpty had made me one for the 3 Musketeers. And I would just throw that up every time. Right. But so you have to figure out what we can do for that. But we have to think about a design, like how we would want to do it to combine the.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, just to have like, I guess, a sort of a scheme on what needs to be included. Like I got my logo made from Fiverr. So I don't know if you've gone there before or anything. That's how I got my actual logo design. So I guess I could go back there. I was gonna try to go to somebody in the community and try to support someone in the community. But I don't really know.
Go to Nancy. Go to Nancy. Nancy does it. The one that I'm using now with the mask and everything, she made that one.
Well, this is another part of it. I'm very picky. So I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings either. It's just like somebody does something, I'm be like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Like I have something in my mind, and unless they can read my mind, we're going to have a problem. So does Nancy know how to read minds? Because that would really help me out.
Just tell her what you want.
I know, but I mean, like when you try to explain something. Have you ever played this game? There's a game where you can play where you just like you explain something and then somebody draws it, and then you see how close it is to whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's usually not at all close. So that's what normally happens to me. I try to explain something to somebody and they draw it, and it just doesn't look good, and I feel bad. I'm just like, yeah, I could use that, I guess, and I'd never use it because it's just nothing I would.
Yeah, somebody was attempting to make something for me and never finished. But the first drawing of it, I was like, it's okay.
Right.
Yeah, you don't really want to hurt their feelings because they work so hard and take time to. Yeah, so you probably better off just going to. You ever tried Mr. Collect It?
Who?
Mr. Collect It.
Never heard of him.
He makes a lot of stickers in the community. He's pretty pricey, but.
Yeah, I guess I could try that too. If anybody in the chats knows some people that they've dealt with, I'd be happy to try them out as well, or at least reach out to them. But yeah, but yeah, I'm super picky. That's my own fault. So, but anyway, we'll see how it all turns out. I just want something cool, and just like, okay, make something cool for me. Now, when I had like an did like a little art contest on my channel last year, like just before Christmas, and people did a really awesome job. I was super impressed.
I thought so too. I was like, man, I want to steal that idea and have people send in stuff for me, but I don't know if it would work as well as yours did.
Well, no, I mean, like I said, it was just a thought that I had. Somebody had sent me a picture, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Maybe I should do something and just pick, instead of just randomly spinning a wheel, I try to do some different things from time to time. And so anyway, I might try to do something like that again. Maybe I'll have someone design a sticker contest, and then maybe I'll give away a pop or something like that if there's one that I end up using for a sticker. That's a good idea.
You know what?
Good job. Good job, George.
We could get everybody to design a Sassy Barbarian logo or design, and then whoever wins, you and I could put in together for them some kind of we could show the different things on screen as we're on the live and have people vote while we're hanging out that day, and then we could put in something and
absolutely. I'm game. Like I said, either we give away a pop or chip in on a gift card, or whatever it is. That's fine. I would like to. I like when things are done like that instead of just straight up paying somebody to do something. I think that makes it more fun. So.
I do have a Patreon wheel to spend today.
Oh,
okay. I want to go ahead and get that done.
Sure.
This is going to be a new thing I do every week. Having so many Patreons, I kind of fall behind on getting their gifts out every month. So I thought this would be an easier and a more fun way, because the higher tier you are, the more times you get put on the wheel. And I think it's going to be easier for me to keep up with. So there you go.
That's a good theory. We'll see if it
we'll see if it works.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, here we go.
Yeah, baby.
All right, Umpty.
This is the winner is Umpty, or you're doing this knockout thing?
Yeah, this is the winner.
Oh, okay.
Plus it gives the people that are lower tiers an opportunity to win something, because normally if you're a certain amount and under, you don't get any, everyone, like if I get new stickers, then you get a sticker or whatever. But
what are the different tiers? Do you mind sharing? So
sure.
Like, what's the bottom tier is what?
$2.
Okay. And then the next tier is what?
A $5. I have a $10.
Okay.
I have a 20. I have a 30 and a 50.
Okay.
So recently OCD just paid for the whole year. He became like a $5 Patreon, and then he just paid the whole year. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll get with you in a little bit, Umpty, and figure out something for you. I had sent you a message earlier, too, about the sodas that we were talking about. So if you want to check your DMs, maybe I could send you another something in there if you're okay with those sodas.
You didn't get any of the sodas from Funko this past week?
No, I thought that it would drop at 11 my time, which it usually does. So I made sure I was home with the computer, refreshing. They never dropped, and I'm like, okay, great. So then I was like, hey, Mom, you ready to go? So we jumped in the car and took off, and then I got a notification that they dropped, and by the time I realized that I got the notification, it was too late.
Yeah, that went instantly. I got an email. The minute I saw the email, I went over there. They were already gone. Already gone.
But Poppin' Trades got 2 Fruit Brute, and he's going to let me buy one of them from him.
Oh, that's good. And
Fruit Brute is flopped, so I'm excited because I actually have the common of it, the original one, and the soda. And the pop, and the Dorbs Ride. So I'm definitely going to get them all because that's my top, that's my top fandom. I couldn't think for a minute.
Oh dear.
You think these glasses would make me smarter, but it's not working.
I don't think glasses do much for you. All it's doing is messing up my vision. Like this line is right through my eyeballs. This is driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm suffering for you people today, just so
Wait
you know.
till you have to have bifocals. Is that what they have?
I have good vision, thank you.
Oh,
reading,
okay.
I need a little help magnifying.
Well, we can both take our glasses off if you want.
Sounds good. Ooh, my eyes are messed up now.
I put them on earlier. I'm like, man, this hurts. How do people do that?
Use my nose. I didn't like it. It's a lot better than people.
Mine doesn't even have lenses. Mine are like real fake. So, my daughter went years wearing fake glasses because she thought they made her look good.
No lenses. There were
no, I think they had lenses. But she did have some with no lenses. But girls go through that phase where they're like, "Oh yeah, I look good." Like like she went years. I was like, "Really?" Whatever. Okay.
I never really thought girls with glasses was a thing. I don't know. But teach his own.
Yeah. Well, we have to come up with one more though for that. What we had talked about. Now my tie's going crooked. Gee whiz. You
said at some point it's all coming off, so.
Well, I know, but if I take it off, then my chin will be all exposed. I don't like that. It's kind of.
That's why I have a beard. I don't have a chin.
That's why I usually wear my hair down because it kind of covers up the. So with my hair up, I gotta have something else to.
I understand.
To camouflage. I guess that's what part of the reason I have the glasses on. Now I feel like I can't see if I don't have them on. Oh, it's weird.
That is weird. I think you're losing it.
I know.
I don't know what it is, but you're definitely losing it.
Hey, there's a song. I don't know what it is, but
is there? I've never heard that one.
It's a country song.
I see. I'm not into country music. Don't start
trouble. Oh, I'm sorry. What kind of music do you like?
I like rock and roll, pop, 80s music. Like whenever I get in the car, we have satellite radio. I put the 80s channel on, and I'm bebopping down the road like an old person.
Yeah, where you are.
I love 80s music. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. I actually went and saw a band called the Leg Warmers.
The Leg Warmers.
The Leg Warmers. They're like a local band. They play like a bunch of 80s music, a cover band. But they play a bunch of 80s music. The cool thing about it is when people go, they dress up as 80s. Like people will be wearing leg warmers and really bright colors and have that.
We have a band around here called the Chiwis, and they're a cover band that does all the 80s and 90s and stuff.
And people dress up when they go and stuff like that.
Yeah, they dress up themselves. Yeah.
Well, they dress up, but the other people dress up. The thing is when my wife and I went to the concert, we didn't get the memo apparently. We were the only people that were dressed like quote unquote normal people. But when you're around people that's all just like the 80s, you don't feel normal. You feel abnormal. So, but it was fun. We had a good time. That's one thing I really missed probably more than a lot of things as far as like gatherings is going to the concerts. We used to go to a concert at least once or twice a summer down at Virginia Beach or up in Richmond or something like that. We haven't been able to do it in the last couple of years because of all this stuff. So hopefully at some point. But yeah, I listen to like Green Day, alternative music, stuff like that.
Okay. I like a lot of different things. I just don't like opera and like that screamo heavy metal where you can't really understand what they're saying kind of stuff.
So Chase's music, you don't like what Chase listens to? Is that pretty much
some of his music? I like it. Some of it, I don't like it. I've
never actually heard anything he's done. Now, maybe I
have. If you watch his Morning Brew on Saturday mornings,
I do.
Sometimes he'll do little clips.
Oh, okay.
And he played some for Popping Around the World too.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but is it screaming metal, or you can actually understand what's happening?
You can't understand it.
Okay, so he's screaming.
I mean, some of it, yeah, you can't. But I mean, I would endure it because I love Chase, because he's a friend. But Yeah, it's not particularly my type of music, but they do other stuff. They don't just do that. They do what he says is a hillbilly. No, not hillbilly. What was the name? Redneck rock. Redneck country rock or something like that. So that stuff I would love to hear, you know. Kind of like a now my brain just
Jethro Tull.
No, more like maybe so. Like it's in my brain. Creedence Clearwater maybe, and
that's not really really.
No, okay, no, I'm thinking of. I can't think of the name.
Allman Brothers.
No, the Sweet Home Alabama. Who sings that?
Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama. Who sings that? Come on, chat.
Is it the band Alabama that sings?
Leonard Skinner. There you go.
Leonard Skinner. Oh boy.
Kind of like Leonard Skinner, I would say, but maybe a little harder.
I mean, I like some of it, but I'm not really into it like some people are. Some people are
way like Southern rock. You ever listen to Southern rock?
Only when it's being played in a truck that's a mile and a half down the road. Okay, so I don't actively listen to it. So no. But I did go to a concert, REO Speedwagon, and who opened for him was what was the band? Oh, Kansas. So that's kind of like that, and they were pretty good. You
ever listen to crap country rap?
Yeah, I don't like rap music. I don't like country music.
You don't like country, so
no, I can't get it. I can't. It's kind of weird. My brother, for some reason, used to like the same music I do. Now he likes country music. He's weird. That's all I can say. He's weird. I guess it's because his wife's into it, so he's into it.
Yeah, I didn't like country till I moved to Texas, which is kind of cliche. I would say I moved there my sophomore year in high school, and the guy I dated at the time absolutely loved country and would come over and bring all kind of country music with him, and I fell in love with Randy Travis and George Strait and Garth Brooks and the older but not super duper old country. And then from there I was kind of hooked, and then I'll go off a while and just listen to rap, and then I'll go listen to oldies. And
we had they actually had like a regional for a radio station. They were looking for judges to judge this regional country music competition. Yeah. And they asked me to do it. I was like a friend of someone that worked in the stadium, and they asked me to do it. I was like, you do understand, I really don't like country music. He's like, we're just trying to find somebody who's not related to any of the bands or anything like that. I don't really relate it to anybody. I was like, okay. I was like, they're like, look, we'll give you a little bit of money and we'll feed you. So are you in? I was like, hey, you just had to say feed me and I'm in. So I went down.
Let's go.
It was 3 hours of me listening to me. Horrible. I was just not good. I don't know if they were not good or I found out I really hate country music, but it was just one after another. And the one I voted for was the one that sounded least like country. Like there was one person that was kind of a poppy country. I was like, yeah, I could sort of tolerate that. So I went for that. So the other two judges had like almost the exact same people that they picked. And mine was completely different. So I was like, mine was completely thrown out. But I got my meal and I got my stipend and I was on my way. So
you got money and food. What else could you ask?
Hey, there you go. There you go. It was a night out, so free entertainment. Yeah. People had to pay to get in, and I got in for free. So what can I say?
Beatles, Stones, Johnny Cash.
I like Johnny Cash. It's pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's country.
Beatles isn't exactly country. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I like a few of songs from each person that he named.
You don't like the Beatles?
I said I like a few songs from each.
A few? It's the greatest band of all times. Okay? Let's be honest.
We used to play a couple of songs in band when I was in high school.
Of the Beatles?
Mm-hmm.
Which songs were those?
Let's
see if here we go again.
I don't ever know names.
Bringing someone out of the nursing home.
Yeah, I don't ever know names of songs. Sergeant Pepper Band.
Okay.
Is that the name of a song?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the other name.
Let It Be.
Yeah. There you go.
I was going to say that was probably when I was in the band. We used to play that too.
Oh, you were in band?
Yeah, I played the bass guitar in the concert band. We didn't march, thank goodness, because I was playing a bass guitar. So
yeah.
But yeah, we used to play a lot of those type of songs too.
Well, so. I've most of the ones that I've marching bands that I've seen that have like guitar or whatever, they just stand in the front of the field. They don't march. So you wouldn't have had to march anyway, even if you were part of the marching band.
We were a really good band, but we were not there's no way we could have managed anything.
When I was in high school, we were one of the top bands in the state, but we used to do competitions, and we were invited to go to Florida for the week for the Orange Bowl parade. That was my freshman year. And our band director, Lord rest his soul, he has passed a few years back. He was a very hard but soft leader. Like, he pushed you to your limit because he knew that you could achieve it. And a lot of people thought he was mean and this and that, but he did it because he truly loved music, and he truly loved the band and marching and all that. He would take our trophies away. Even if we won, if he didn't think we did a good job that day, he would take our trophies. He was just a perfectionist, but it showed because we were one of the top bands in the state, Right. So.
Yeah, I really enjoyed being in the band. We had a great band director.
Oh, I did too. It was.
But awesome. the band, the thing I didn't like about our band director, she had a really good ear. Like I was in a school about 400 when I was in Maine, and we had 120 people in the band. So about more than a fourth of the people was in the band. So yeah. And we would all be playing, and she'd be stop, and then she'd point like, you're sharp or you're off, and like you could hear one instrument amongst all these instruments, and it's like we have like 15 trumpeters and all these things, and she'd point at one person just like, and I was like, which was terrible because she was constantly pointing at me, and just like wrong. So she was on me a lot trying to get things straight. So, but eventually I did good, and I enjoyed it. And we went to Washington, D.C. for the 4th of July. We played in front of the 4th of July and the Star Spangled Banner, and that was a lot of fun. It was a real interesting thing to do, and so yeah, enjoyed it. Yeah,
we were invited to march in the Orange Bowl parade in Orlando, and while we were there, we went to Disney, Epcot. Back then, there was an MGM. We went to Wet and Wild Water Park. We went to the jousting. We did a bunch of stuff, and then we marched in several Mardi Gras parades all around the area of my area. And then, we'd go to competitions and football games, and every year we went to band camp. And if your legs didn't bleed, you weren't marching right.
Oh, brother.
So, and then if we had to march with books on our heads, and if they fell, then we had to go back and stand in that position with the books. He was really tough, but it showed because back then, there wasn't a whole lot to do. So band was cool back then. Now you go to football games and you see their bands are so little in high school now. I'm like, we have filled a whole section. Our band was so big, and it was something to do. It brought people that you would not necessarily be friends with outside of band, all types of different people, and it was a great experience. I would do it all over again.
Yeah, it's for people that maybe you get this maybe a similar type of experience in sports and stuff like that. You get a chance to working with a team and sort of understanding that you're playing a part, and you're not doing your part, you're letting other people down, and all the other different things, and you get a chance to do things. I think it's a great opportunity for people to sort of grow and especially at a certain age when you're trying to learn who you are and just see what you can do and what you can accomplish. Because some people would come to the band that already knew how to play an instrument. I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't know how to read music. I didn't know how to do anything with the bass guitar. In fact, the first instrument they gave me was the sousaphone. Do you know what the sousaphone is? Right?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen one.
It's a tuba, but it's the kind that goes, it's the big, the big horn. You know what I'm talking about? That gigantic, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I've ever seen one.
What's a tuba? Do you know what a tuba is?
Yes, I know what a tuba is.
That's what it is, except it's the one that you carry, that you walk around with. A tuba is one you hold like this, and it's got a horn. A sousaphone is.
I didn't know that's what it's called, because the big one, we just called that a tuba.
It's a sousaphone. But anyway, so I had to learn how to do that because I had to learn to read music, and I didn't have a bass guitar yet. And they said, well, the sousaphone music is the same to learn as, because it's an F clef, not a G clef, and then you learn that. So I had to carry that on the bus. You know how big that thing is? It took up 2 seats on the bus. And it was in this big case. It was horrible. I mean,
what grade did you start playing?
It was a freshman in high school. I only started playing in high school.
Well, I started in 5th grade, so I played for 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
My mom told me ever how much the flute cost. I had to play that many years. So like the flute was $800, so I had to play for 8 years. $100 for each year. Because if she was going to spend that kind of money on an instrument, I had to play it. So
I understood.
Which I was okay with. I didn't mind it. I loved it. But the thing about it is now I can't read a lick of music at all.
Right.
But she had let a friend move in with her, and little did we know the girl was a crackhead, and she stole my flute and pawned it for crack. So I wasn't able to keep up, practicing with it and reading music and stuff like that. And I've tried to teach myself how to play the keyboard, and semi-successful, but I just can't ever retain the notes to read the music. I don't know why.
That's what my brother did. He did keyboard, and I don't know if I've told the story, but he was in his first concert, and he was up there, and they didn't plug him in because he didn't really. He wasn't good enough, but they're like, we want to make him feel good, so they let him go up there and do the thing, and
oh my goodness,
and everyone, and my parents went over and go, oh, you did a really good job, blah blah blah, and then the band director pulled him over and said, you realize he wasn't plugged in, right? I'm like, yeah. They're like, no, we didn't realize, and they're like, well, we just wanted him to participate. So I tease my brother about that to this day.
How old is your brother?
He's 4 years older than I am, so he's 50. He's an old man now.
Are you're the baby, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Big baby.
That's nice of you to say. It sounds negative when you say it like that. I'm the center of my own universe and my parents' universe.
Yeah, we know. Well, not your parents, your mom. I don't think your dad would feel the same.
No, he does. He definitely does. We have the same name. Okay, there's a certain kinship between me. My mom probably gravitates a little bit more to my brother, to be honest with you. So
really?
Yeah, she does. She definitely does.
I thought you and your dad didn't have like the greatest of relationships.
No, we have a good relationship. We just can't work together.
I've heard you talk about growing up, about him kicking you in the balls. I mean,
that's how you grow. You know what I'm saying? We have a relationship just like me and the rest of my family. It's like the relationship kind of like that you and I have, where we're constantly bickering with each other. I have that with my wife, my brother, my parents, all the people at work, every other person that I deal with. I come to a realization it may be me. I'm not sure. But
yeah, well, I would say so if it's every single person that you have encounter with.
Well, I just think that people are too sensitive and they just don't understand, or I don't, it can be everyone else. It doesn't have to be me. But anyway, it was an interesting time. But yeah, I was enjoyed being in the band, and I felt real bad like when we went from Maine to Virginia, where they didn't have a band at the place I went to school. I went to, so band was out, and all my friends were out, and it was an interesting last year of high school. Kind of sad.
Yeah, James said now they're trying to cut out music programs in schools.
Yeah, sad. Yeah,
well, sad. I think the attendance in them have dropped dramatically too. Like, kids don't think band is like where it's at. They want to be home playing video games or texting or, FaceTiming and stuff like that. Band takes too much out of their daily them time, and then you have to practice and you have to do this, and kids don't want to put that effort into something anymore. It's all about self-gratification for them.
Yeah, exactly. And instant gratification. If they feel like they can learn something in a short period of time, then maybe they're interested. But it doesn't work like that for music. I mean, you really have to practice and practice.
Yeah, that's true.
It does make it tough for people. So
yeah.
Oh well, I do feel bad.
I would go back and do it again. I had a blast.
My nieces are into a lot of different things, and one of the things that one of them is into is music. So I think that's great. I think that they're trying.
One thing I would have loved to have done was to sing, but I never had anyone push me in that direction. So like my daughter went to a school of choice, and there were different, in one of the younger grades, the lower grades, every 9 weeks they would do a different art. It was an art school, and every 9 weeks they would do a different art. And then at the end of the 9 weeks, the teacher would either give their recommendation of, they did good, or, I don't think they're good for this, or, whatever. Well, the choir teacher, chorus, really loved my daughter and was like, she has a great voice. I really think she needs to, put her focus towards that. And, she went out of her way to meet with me and tell me how, she thought my daughter had talent, and none of the other teachers did that. So I was like, well, guess we're going to chorus direct, And so she did that for years. She even sang in our church in the, on Sundays for worship and, different things like that. So now that she's not in school or anything, she doesn't sing, but she still has a great voice.
Yeah,
but she did that for years and years and years and years. And I would have loved to have sing. I love singing. Don't know if I'm good. I don't think I'm good.
I was going to say, do other people love hearing you?
No, I don't. No, they don't. When I was younger, my son would say, "Mom, you should be on The Voice or American Idol." And I'm like, no, I think he was just saying.
They're just trying to be nice, or are they trying to?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I mean, he was little, so I don't think I sing good. Eric and them keep trying to get me to do karaoke with them, and I'm like, nah.
You could sing something now. Go ahead.
No.
What would you sing? If you could sing something out, what would you sing? What song would it be? If you had to do a karaoke song, what song would you pick?
Well, my go-to back in the day when I was just going out to bars and stuff, I would do karaoke every once in a while. My favorite was Islands in the Stream. I don't know why, but
it's good.
But yeah, I would have loved to have been able to be in chorus or choir or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But I never had anybody to give me positive affirmation to go that way. So I never, even when I was little, those little tape recorders that they were about this big, and you put the tape in there and you were going. I was an only child, and I had gotten one for Christmas or birthday or something. I'd walk around the backyard recording myself singing. That's how much I loved to sing when I was little. But nobody ever encouraged me. So I went the band direction instead of the other direction. But all my kids love music. My husband loves music. We love music. We're, any type of music almost. So I think I probably could have done well if I would have had the right people in the right, stages of it to help me develop my voice and everything else. But
well, I like to, sing in the shower or in the car. Like when there's a band, the music on in the car, and I'm singing, like in my head, I'm like, I sound exactly like the person singing. And then like you hear something, like someone occasionally will think they're funny, they'll record something. Like my wife will record me saying, and it's horrible. It's just, I was just like, how could that be that far off? I don't understand how I could think it's wonderful, it's beautiful, like Adele or something like that, and it sounds like a Muppet when my wife is recording it. She's like, oh, it's Kermit. Look at Kermit. Like, yeah, great, thank you. So,
yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. But yeah, I would have loved to have been able to go that direction, but it is what it is.
It's never too late. It's never too
late. It is.
You think it's too late? Okay. Maybe it is too late. I don't know.
I couldn't imagine trying to sing now.
Yeah. Just stick to it for fun. There you go, for fun. I've never really gotten to a point where I felt comfortable enough to do karaoke in front of people, like in a bar or in a place other than maybe around. Like I did, like my wife had rock band, and we would, she'd play the drums and I might sing or something like that. We did that for a little while, but in front like of a group of random people, I would never feel comfortable enough to do that. I mean, I'm not much of a drinker, and I pretty much feel like you probably need to be drunk in order to do that. Or at least I would think you would. So that's why.
I mean, I was drunk when I did it. So that's pretty much what happens. I would have to be very drunk in order to. Okay. So Eric texted me, and I didn't see it till just now, which was like 30 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. He announced in the stream that November 15th, he will be celebrating a milestone celebration combo in case anybody wants to come hang out. So mark your calendars. He's at 1,500, I think.
Oh, okay, right.
So November 15th, everybody, mark your calendars, because Eric puts on a good show. So we got to go out and support Eric. He's done a lot for the community, and does intros for people and outros, and does my.
He's done a lot to the community too. Not just for the community. Certain members of the community, he's done a lot to them.
Hey, Ham Fam and King Bob. So King Bob says, hey, everyone, sorry I'm late. Had to dodge the madhouse at the grocery store. And James says he likes karaoke. His go-to song is Adam and Evil by Elvis, and New Orleans is Sinking by Tragically Hip. Never heard of either one, I don't think.
Yeah, I've never heard of Adam and Evil. It's interesting.
Oh, Evil. We're doing good, Ham. How are you? Drunk in order to do that. Must be talking about BB's sex life.
But we need to have a drummer here to do the rim shots, because everyone's hilarious.
We need some sound effects. Oh, we need to get Chase's sound effects.
Right. That's exciting. No, we were referring to singing, not the other thing you were mentioning.
Right. But I like another song I love. We used to karaoke at my house, like me and the kids, or we'd get really toasted at the house with some friends and karaoke. Another one of mine was Lady Marmalade by it was Lil Kim. It was Pink would sing Lady Marmalade. I think that's the name of it.
I've never heard of it.
Hold on, let me see if I can look it up.
Oh, brother. Yeah, I'm not really. I don't really listen to a lot of current music. I've become a real old man.
Yeah. Lady Marmalade. Yeah, that's what the name of it is. That and the one about why is when I try to think of something, it just disappears.
That's what old people do say. A lot of old people say that.
Oh my goodness.
Your eyesight goes, your hearing goes, your mind goes. But I think in this case, all at the same time.
From Elvis Spin Out soundtrack. Oh, Adam and Evil. Huh. I don't know if I've ever heard that song.
Me neither. I've never heard it. Never heard it.
No. What is the name of the? Oh, I don't know why. I try to think. Anyway,
just period. You don't know why you think. I don't know either. I don't know.
Yeah, one of the songs I like to sing is Lady Marmalade. It's from the Moulin Rouge soundtrack.
Are you trying to say Lady Marmalade, like jelly? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but we say marmalade.
It's weird.
And then Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau is the other song. You ever heard the song about Marie Laveau?
No, I have not. You're saying this is who? Little Kim? I'm not.
Lady Marmalade is Pink, Lil' Kim, Christina Aguilera, and Maya.
Yeah.
It's from the Moulin Rouge album.
I never saw Moulin Rouge. You're in a whole other area that I'm not. Much about. No, I don't. That's not really my area.
So the Devil Went Down to Georgia. I like to sing that one too.
No, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, finally one you know, huh?
Yeah, it was actually. I listened to. Have you ever heard of Primus? I like Primus. They played that, and it was really, really good. You should check it out.
I don't know who that is.
You've never heard of Primus before? Come on. Mm-hmm. I mean, really? Have you ever watched South Park before?
No.
You've never seen South Park ever in your entire life?
A little piece, but no.
Well, okay. Have you heard the opening music for South Park? It's Primus.
No, I don't think so.
No. Are you serious?
I'm not.
It's been on for decades. I mean, come on.
Like that and Office and Parks and Rec and all that. I don't like them.
I'm not into Parks and Rec, but the other ones, I don't. Yeah. All right. Teachers. I was just using it as a reference because they're the ones that sang that. Primus.
Primus is awesome, BBC. What? Eric agrees with you on something.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. They said they did a great version of that. Part of the reason why I really like Primus is because I played the bass, and if you like bass, good bass music, Les Claypool is the lead singer and also a bassist. Usually, lead singer is never a bassist, but he's also a bassist. He's probably the greatest bassist ever.
The only thing I know from South Park is when that Stan guy says you need to learn how to respect your authority. That is the only thing I know.
I have that pop. I actually have that one at my office. I have the.
That's a cool pop.
It's Eric Cartman.
Sunglasses on
it's not Stan. It's Eric Cartman.
Oh, Cartman. See, tells you how much I know.
Respect my authority.
South Park on my TV now. And Angie says she loves Primus.
Yeah. It's very different. It's hard to get into if you're not into it. But if you listen to the music, they're really amazing how they do it. So anyway, such as it is.
I'm not a good thinker, so
just period. Just that's it. I'm not a good thinker. Not about a subject, no specific area.
Sometimes I feel like I just should have been blonde because.
And my wife is blonde, and it's like I'll have conversations with her, and it's just like she's usually a pretty intelligent person, but every now and then you'll see a blonde thing happen. I'm just like, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. We've gone down some crazy road that I don't even really understand. So
exactly.
Oh well, nice try.
Yep. So next subject.
Okay, let's see. What are we going to talk about? So, what have you got coming up pop-wise? You get some boxes, some good boxes you're going to open soon?
I have a damaged mystery box from I Want This Stuff.
Oh, damaged? I mean, how badly damaged is it?
I didn't open it yet, stuff? So, I mean, I don't know. I didn't open it yet. It was only $20, so.
I know, but don't they usually say is out of box? Is it like a 6 out of 10 kind of damage? I mean, what do they?
I don't think it's bad damage because I think I saw Roscoe Pops or BK Phipps opened one and hers was barely anything. Okay. And then I have
damage can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Sometimes people think damage. I opened some mystery boxes early on my channel that never said they were damaged, and those boxes were destroyed. I mean, the box was like almost crushed. I was like, that's just sad.
I got a few from Spastic, and yeah, they were pretty damaged.
Were they? It's terrible.
And then I have a Martin Pops box to open.
Who?
Martin Pops.
Oh, I never heard of him.
Yeah.
I've got $150 I want this stuff mystery box.
Ooh, that jumbo one where they have, it's not just Pops.
I think so.
Christmas
Yeah.
box.
I think so. It wasn't that long ago, fairly recent. And then I got a inexpensive one. It's just like sodas, a couple sodas, like a $30 or something from I want this stuff. And then I've got a Poptopia box. I just ordered a Spastic box. That one's on the way. Got a bunch of other things up there that I need to open. That I bought I told myself I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to deal with it. But I had to get myself a die-cast Batman, so I got one in the box. I had to buy it on Whatnot, unfortunately. So it cost me, I don't know, $60-$70, probably $70, I think is what it ended up costing me. Kind of irritated me that I had to spend that kind of money, but I couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it. So
did you get Captain when it came out?
No. I'm not. The thing of it is when Funko drops these things, I'm at work. Okay. And like, they give me 15-minute breaks. So sometimes I can work these things out, but a lot of times I can't. I mean, I'm literally like, I was in a conference on last week on Friday when they dropped that thing. And I heard a beep on my phone. I looked over, I'm on this virtual conference, and somebody asked me, I'm in like these little breakout rooms. Somebody asked me this long-winded question and I needed a response. And I'm like, shit. And just like, and so I'm thinking, I'm talking to him, responding as much as I can. Once you get me on a roll, I just keep talk. And then after it was over, I looked on my phone, clicked over it, gone. All of them gone. I was like, that really sucked. I almost cried.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So it just doesn't time out right, unfortunately. So I just can't. It just doesn't work out when Funko drops things like that. So.
Yeah, I think they do it to deter bots, but
the bots don't have a job. The bots, their job is to buy stuff. Why not? I just whatever. They're going to do whatever they want to do. I mean, you can complain all you want.
Reese's pumpkins.
What are they?
Reese's pumpkins. You like those?
I do. Thank you for teasing me. I'm trying to stay from sugar carbs. I'm trying to cut back.
Oh, and
now I did eat a whole pizza, so I made
a whole bag of chips.
Those are no sugar carbs in there.
But there's carbs, bad carbs.
Yeah, what's the difference? Sugar carb. I said I'm trying to do away with sugar carbs.
Why you have to do? Why? What's the deal with sugar carbs?
They're not good for you. They're unhealthy. So I'm trying to. You see, I'm trying to wean myself off one thing at a time. So I wean myself off sugar carbs. Then I'm trying to cut back on potatoes. Then I'm going to cut back on chips. And then I'm going to hang myself, okay? Because there'll be nothing left in my life for me to enjoy. All right, there you go. Because that's pretty much it. I'm one of those type of people that loves to eat, and I need to not love to eat. I had lost a lot of weight before this, COVID, pandemic. Yeah. I had gone from over 300 pounds to almost, I was like 205 pounds. I'd gotten very skinny. I had a big head and a big skinny body. I looked kind of like E.T. I'm not healthy, but I was skinny. And I felt, at least I didn't have back problems. I didn't have a lot of the problems. And then I gained it all back again, sitting around on my duff, eating potato chips and Snickers bars and all the other stuff that came along with it. So,
yeah, I mean, same. I had lost 70, 75 pounds. Yeah. And then we moved back home and, not long after that, I started putting on a little bit here and there, and then COVID hit, and that was it. I put about 50 to 55 back on, but then the last couple of weeks, I got back on my medication that helped me lose weight before, and I've actually lost 10 pounds. So
that's good.
We'll see.
It's good when you sort of. I'd gotten to a point where I couldn't fit any clothes. They're like, okay, because I was working remotely. I worked remotely for almost a year and a half every day, and it was great. And then they're like, yeah, starting August 1st, you need to come back to the office. I'm like, well, that's a problem. And they're like, why is it a problem? I have no clothes. I mean, literally no clothes. Yeah. So I had to go buy some clothes just to go back to the office in order to do it. So I got to a point where it's just like, I need to do something. So I've been trying to lose weight. So
thankfully, I still had kept some of the older clothes. I mean, I don't have, and then I've recently been getting all kind of Funko t-shirts and all that. So, but I started to where I changed a little bit how I ate, and then I'm only eating like once or twice a day. I'm not eating, and then it helps shrink my stomach. So then, like normally I would have eaten a bigger bag. So today I just ate this. So I eat less and I get full quicker. Lost 200 pounds. You lost 200 pounds.
Keep reading.
I hope my ex is doing great, but yeah, I lost that 200 pounds.
I hear you, buddy. So yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I don't. I'm beyond middle age at this point, I suppose. So I'm always I'm never going to be skinny, but I need to be on the point where I can bend over and put my clothes on. I was winded tying my shoes. I'm just like, I mean, how old and fat do I feel when I'm winded tying my shoes? So
I started having knee trouble. My knee would hurt almost all the time. My back started hurting. So like a year ago, I was helping with something. Was it a year or was it 2 years by now? I was helping with something and then my back started hurting. And ever since then, I was like, well, maybe it's just sore from what I was helping with. But then the back problem never went away. And I'm like, that's crazy. So maybe it's because I'm fat now. I need to lose my weight again.
Probably. I'm sure that doesn't help. But like I said, anytime you have medical problems, it's not like it's necessary, being thin is going to eliminate them. But, having some extra weight certainly doesn't help it.
Right.
Because you get all that extra stuff on your back and all that extra stuff on your knee or whatever it is. It's just, for me, it's just like,
talking about food, he was at the Cheesecake Factory.
The Cheesecake Factory. I like Cheesecake Factory.
I've never been
always go there for. You've never been? It's good. The menu is this thick. You have to go in there, and my wife is terrible at making decisions and be like, the only thing about going to Cheesecake Factory, it's like the waiter comes over like 7 times. Is like, y'all ready yet? Just like she's flipping through. I don't know what I want. I was like, look, please just focus on a page and pick something. And then there's a million cheesecakes. Those are good. Those are real good.
Yeah, I like cheesecake. I'm a cheesecake fan.
Yeah, they really have amazing cheesecake and like so many different varieties. So
yeah,
I probably couldn't go in there. I'm trying to I can't eat sugar carbs, so
I've cut back on a lot of. So like the chips and that one candy, that's probably all the junk I'll have today. So
number 2 is when I had lost my weight the first time. I'm not the type of person that does very well like eating candy. Like I'd eat a candy and I'd eat 100 candies. You know what I'm saying? It's just like impulse control. I just like completely cut it out of my diet so that I don't even want it.
Yeah.
So I just completely cut out no potatoes, no bread. I'd gotten to a point where I wasn't eating like 20 grams of carbs pretty much every single day. And it gets pretty hard. People don't realize how hard it is.
Oh yeah, I know. I've done the same thing. Like taking that medicine that I was taking and then also changing how I ate, it wasn't just the pill that I was taking. So you have to change how you eat and then, you do a little exercise and the more you lose, the better you feel. So you can do more exercise or, whatever. And you get to where you don't want to eat the nasty stuff because then it affects your body the way you don't want it to. So
right. Exactly right. So, but anyway, so yeah, but it is what it is. So more chips.
We can track each other by this time next year, see how much we've lost.
How much this time next year?
Yeah.
I'm hoping to just be a head and a stick. So that's the plan.
A head and a stick?
Yeah, there won't be much of a body left. It'll be just a stick figure.
That's funny.
But my head, one thing I did realize, you don't lose head weight. So I did look weird. I had like a big head still and like a skinny body. So,
I do. I lose this, which I love because I hate this. Everything else I'm okay with is this that drives me crazy. And actually looking today, it doesn't look as bad as it was. But that's what I like to see disappear when I start losing weight. So
yeah. I just grow up my beard a bit. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I want to lose at least 50. So I would like to lose what I lost. What I gained back, I mean, not what I lost. I mean, I would like to lose another 70 total because I hadn't reached my goal yet before, and then I turned and started gaining back. But I had gotten to close to my goal.
Well, the thing that's interesting is when you lose a certain amount of weight, you realize, or one thing I guess I didn't realize is you lose weight everywhere. Like my rings didn't fit on my fingers anymore. My shoe, I actually went down half a shoe size. Mm-hmm. It's just strange that you would think, oh, those things. And like I have, like, as it stands right now, I have kind of skinny little legs, and I just have a big fat body. So I'm I'm just like kind of like an ET type figure. But when I lose weight, I just lost like more weight on my legs. It's just like, I'm like what is that guy? Not Groot. Gru. You know Gru from he's got a big round body. He's got these two little skinny little legs. That's just like that. It's just like, and I'll lose even more weight on my legs. I was like, I want to lose it here, but that's the last place I lose.
Yeah. I actually went down quite a bit of shoe size when I started losing weight. At one point, I was wearing like an 8.5 or 9. Now I'm like at depending on the shoe, but I can wear a 7, 7.5, 8. So it all depends on the shoe. But yeah,
you didn't lose any toes, did you? Maybe you lost a couple.
No, I didn't lose toes. My feet used to be small, and then I got pregnant and had kids, and they, you get all swollen and all that and everything. And
I don't know. I've never had any kids. So
it happens, and it sucks. And but they never went back to the normal size. And then once I started losing weight, I was like, whoa, my feet shrunk too. So now I have little tiny feet again.
There you go. So yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, I mean,
it is. It's crazy how one day you put on something and it's like, wait, rings falling off. What's going on?
Exactly. And those are things that I was just like, that's the last place I need to lose weight. I wish I could dial it up and say, hey, no, I want to lose here and here, but those things don't happen, unfortunately.
But I start to notice because I have like a tire, like 2 tires around my waist, and I noticed that the dip isn't as big. If that makes sense. And the back fat kind of goes away, and that is good for me because I'm not into back fat.
Well, the thing that was sort of interesting when I was losing weight last time is there was somebody else at work, and he was already skinny. This is the thing that sort of blew my mind. He was like, "We'll have a competition. We'll see who loses the most weight." And he was already skinny. I'm like, well, first of all, I should win this because if I don't win this, you're already skinny. I don't understand. So he ended up losing like 20 pounds. He probably didn't he probably needed to gain weight, if anything. So, but when I had somebody to compete against, I felt like it pushed me a little bit harder to do something as opposed to me just trying to figure it out myself. So anyway, it was what it was. So I don't know.
My youngest has a friend over, and so entertaining that and getting ready for Halloween. Oh, y'all going trick-or-treating tonight, Eric?
Eric, what are you going trick-or-treating as specifically?
He has so many costumes. Who knows? Did you happen to go on his stream last night?
I was on there very briefly last night.
Was it in the early time or the later time?
I think it was later. I'm not really sure what time
when
it started.
First started, he had this black, weird-looking makeup on with these big old-looking teeth.
No.
And then he went away for a while and then came back as Ghostface.
Yeah,
but he had some weird makeup with big. I didn't know who he was, but it was pretty terrifying to me.
Well, Eric's face is always kind of terrifying. I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, that's your opinion. That's
no, it is mine and the greater seeing public.
Well, I don't agree, but Jeepers Creepers. Okay, he's going out as the bearded librarian. That's hard to say more than once. Weren't you a librarian at once?
I was.
One point you were. Okay.
No, I was.
So
and my entire time through college and my first job.
That's a compliment. He wants to be like you.
Many people do. I am their hero. I'm glad to be your hero, Eric. I really am. I'm glad.
Oh, geez.
Librarians aren't exactly the future, I think, unfortunately.
No.
So, yeah, I sort of got away from that. So,
you know, you have a pillowcase with my face on it. LOL.
You got to be careful about dressing up as a ghost nowadays. People can misinterpret things, and you don't want to end up in the wrong area wearing a ghost outfit. Okay,
didn't you say you had a picture of Eric and you use it for target practice?
I don't, but if he would like to send me one, I'm sure I could work that out. I am looking forward to. I keep telling my wife one of these days I want to go to an axe throwing place. Have you ever been to one of those?
No, I'd love to though.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I was telling my dad I had this dream that one of the things I'd like to do when I retire is to open a bed and breakfast. Right. This is the thing that he sort of doesn't understand about me, because I really don't like people that much. And he's like, you realize people are going to be coming into your home every day, and you don't like people, so I don't really understand. I was like, yeah, but they're going to pay me. I like if people are going to pay me, I'll like them fine. So it's just like they come in, they pay me, and I'll have a little bed and breakfast. And my wife is like, look, you don't know how to cook. And I was like, well, that's your job. And I'm not making the beds. That's for darn sure. That's her job. Geez. So those are, and I said, what I'd like to do is set up like an axe throwing area. So I just thought it'd be like a bed and breakfast and axe throwing. You can kind of like combine all those. I just thought it'd be a fun thing. Yeah.
So you want a bed and breakfast, you just don't want to have to do anything for it and just take the money.
Yeah, I'll do that part. I'll handle the financials. I'll handle all the financials. Make sure that people come in, and I can set up like events and stuff. Like you can do all kinds of different events there. I mean, have you ever gone someplace to set up like to rent an area for an event or pay for catering? It is so expensive now. And I'm thinking, what am I paying for exactly? I don't really, I sort of understand that, there's a cost to doing it, but it just seems so far over the top. So I'm thinking, well, if they can do it, why can't I they can gouge people. I can gouge people. So.
I don't know. He has a sock with your face on it.
I don't want to know what he's doing with that sock. I'm just deeply disturbed.
No, he was saying you have a sock with Eric's face on it.
Oh, I do? No, I think so.
It would be a bed and axe, no breakfast included.
Exactly right. Exactly. It'd be bed and axe. That's a good name, bed and axe. I like that. It's you got to do something different. Everybody's doing bed and breakfast. You do bed and axe. That's right. Get your own breakfast. I'll point you to the McDonald's down the street. They have a wonderful bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit you can get.
Talking about how you don't like people or do it, but if they pay you, you're fine. Years ago, I had my own housekeeping business. My mom and I would go and clean people's houses. But then, they say whatever your work is, you don't do it at your own house. So like a painter needs his house painted, and a lawn person needs his yard mowed. So I've never been that great of a housewife, to be honest. And
so you're going to go and do this at other people's homes.
Right. So he's like, how come you go clean other people's houses, but you don't clean our house? I'm like, because they pay me.
Exactly.
Of course I'm going to do it if they're going to give me money. Sure. And it's good money. So are you going to pay me? I don't get paid to clean my own house. Why would I want to do that?
Exactly.
That was my logic. It didn't work too well, but that was my logic.
Yeah. It's big business nowadays. Because especially now you throw in cleaning and sanitation. People are looking for that kind of thing to it. And that just allows you to add a lot more onto it. But
years ago, years back, we would charge anywhere from $15 to $20 an hour.
Sure.
At the end, when we first started, we were making like 10, which was still good, But towards the end, and then we had we would have like a minimum, and then we also had where there were certain things we didn't do, and whatever else that we didn't cover. If you wanted, you had to pay extra, and
right.
But then the economy got pretty bad around here, and people just stopped wanting housekeepers.
Yeah.
So the business slowed, and I ended up giving all the clients that we had at the time just to my mom, because she, didn't have another job, and I didn't really have to work because my husband's always been the sole provider. And so I kind of just handed it off to her, and then she did it until she couldn't anymore, and then she filed for disability. Plus, people got crazy. Like, they wanted you to do the most craziest things and expected too much, and then every week they were adding more and more, and they way too much.
Well, the only thing that I always had a problem, we had somebody for a while that would help, and she wouldn't come like every week. She came in, I think, once a month usually, and maybe sometimes a couple times a month, depending if we were going to have guests or something. Right. And she just cleaned certain areas because we kind of have a bigger house. I didn't want to spend all the money that she was talking about, so I'd have her clean like certain zones. In some areas, like I have bedrooms in the house that don't get used, so why clean those? I mean, it should be fine. So it was mainly the kitchen and the bathrooms that I was focused on. So, but I always was afraid of anybody that would just give you like an hourly rate. I'm just like, okay, hold on a second. So what are we talking? And then I have this conversation with them. So how long do you think it's going to take? Well, I don't know. I mean, no. Because then it could be, you're just talking about an endless amount of money. It could be $1,000. I'm like, no. No way am I paying somebody hourly. I want to know how much I'm paying you. So
what's going on? My thing is, I didn't like being anywhere for more than 4 hours. So you didn't have to worry about that for me. I liked getting in and getting out and on to the next place or whatever. I didn't like, I would either charge you an hourly rate, it depends, or I would figure out about how long I think it would take me and then charge you a set price.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if somebody gave like an estimate of, hey, it'd probably take you 3 hours and, it's $20. So you sort of get the idea it's $60 somewhere in that ballpark. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, like I said, people don't even want to give you well, I don't want to, because people want to stick you. And I understand that. Like if I say 60 and you go to 65 or 70, then they won't want to pay the extra money. And I said, look, I understand it's an estimate, but it gives me some sort of idea to determine if this is going to work or not. Yeah. And we had this, my wife had this other house before we moved in here, and she was trying to get it ready up for sale. So she hired this painter. Okay, he comes over and he's there for months and just like, and I'm just like, and he's painting, and I come in, I was like, did the painter come? Yeah, came. What did he paint? I'm looking around, and oh, he primed the ceiling. I said, did you ask? He would paint parts of the house you didn't ask him to paint, and then he would do like half the job. And then I was like, well, and he would have pay all these hours. I said, every time I come into the house and the painter's here, he's in the bathroom. Okay. He's blowing up the bathroom. And I'm just like, am I paying him to take a crap? Really? I mean, that's crazy. There's no way. I said, crap on your time. Don't crap on my time. I'll get you a paint bucket. You can sit on it while you're painting, or give him a roller. Let him roll in the bathroom if that's what he's going to do. But I mean, he can't just sit on the toilet reading a magazine. Yeah. Expect me to pay him for that. I'm just like, terrible. At some point, we just like, you fired. Bye. And he didn't even finish painting anything. So we had to go in and paint it because I couldn't get anybody. It's terrible.
Hey, Sharon. And that's crazy because my husband's the exact opposite. He hates to paint, but he's really good at it. And a lot of people want painting done. So he gets in and gets out. He does what he has to do, and that way because the quicker he'll give you an estimate. So the quicker he's done, the more money he makes, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, look, if you say, it's going to cost me this many hours, so I'm going to say it's going to be $500, and figuring it'll take a day and a half. If it only takes you a day to do it, and you've quoted me the 500, then you can go and bid another job and get some other money on that. I'd rather do that. At least know exactly what I'm going to be paying.
Right.
And if something comes up and just like, look, I tried to paint this, but this came down or that happened, and I can be reasonable about things. It's just I just this idea that you're writing a blank check to somebody, and I don't know. Of course, that was back in the days before now, where you can look and see if there's star reviews and Yelp and all the other things that people do now. But yeah, I don't know. If around here, get anybody to do anything, just get somebody to come out. you basically begging people, please, please come and do this. So I called like 8 different people to chop down a tree out here. And then these people, I don't know if I told this story, paid these people. It was a dead tree, got struck by lightning. All the leaves were gone on it. And they came out and they're like, well, I don't know. I mean, $2,000. Okay, it's a 60-foot pine tree, $2,000, $1,950 or whatever. I was like, that seems kind of steep. And they're like, well, we got to get a crane out here and blah, blah, blah. We can't have anyone climb it. It's too dangerous. I'm like, all right, well, that's and I get a bunch of people and they all quoted about the same price.
Yeah.
And then I was at work because that's the way I like to do it. I'm at work. My wife has to deal with it, and magical fairies take my tree away. And I came home, it was gone, and they cleaned up, did a good job. I said, oh, blah, blah, blah. And she said, the interesting thing is they sent somebody up that tree. That person climbed up the tree and chopped it down. It's like they told us that they weren't doing it. It's too dangerous. And then when they got the money, then, we found somebody dumb enough to climb up the tree.
Wow.
So I was like, well, it's gone.
Well, here, we don't, his name isn't on Yelp and all that 5-star, this, that. He is completely word of mouth.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is the best. It's the best way to get
it definitely is.
Because you know that the person, if somebody's referring them, they did a good job. And he is all about his, he doesn't ever want to he's going to do it the right way the first time. Because he doesn't want to have to go back and.
Does he do electrical work? I have some electrical work.
He does do a little bit of electrical. He does plumbing. He does electrical. He did all these shelves, custom shelves for me. He did the sheetrock. He did the painting. He's done everything in here. So that's why I said you need to pay him to let us come out for the week and let him get your stuff done.
The whole week. I don't know if I have a week's worth of stuff here. I maybe a couple days.
I'm sure you could find. I mean, it would be a good trip for us to come out too.
You're welcome to come and visit anytime. I have a space here at the house.
But so yeah, he wants to get in and get it done, and his reputation's on the line. He's not going to do a horrible job, because then that means he won't get another referral. You know what I mean?
See, that's the thing. I mean, at least in certain areas, people know that that's the reality. But I think it's gotten to a point where I don't know that people think about that very much. We got a lot of these businesses, just like, I'm just going to show up, and because there's so few people doing the things, you're forced to get somebody that has 1 star just to get somebody to do it. Because I got to do it at some point, so. Yeah.
Well, see, the thing is, he's not licensed and he doesn't have his own insurance, being that it's just him, he doesn't have to have insurance in our state, because there's nobody for him to be liable for but himself. And so he's more of a mom and pop kind of thing. But he's been doing it for so long, over 20 years. So, because his stepdad did the same work and he taught him everything he knows. So he's been doing this kind of work since he could lift a hammer or paint or, whatever. So
that's good. It's good to be
really
real
good
handy,
at what he does.
Because I'm not. I've learned something. I'm not handy at all. I mean, I can tear something up. I can destroy something, but I just can't.
Well, and he used to like to take things apart, and then he could put them back together like it wasn't nothing. So, I mean, he's always been good. And he's worked on cars before. So anything we ever need, he's like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. So he knows a little bit about a lot of things. Right. So it has helped us in our life, because we don't have to pay exorbitant amount of money to people to come do it, because he could do it himself.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So, it's nice. It saves money and time, and
I have a little bit of knowledge, just enough to be dangerous. And this always happens. I can start a job, I get about halfway through, and then I get to a point where I can't fix what I've done. And I don't know how to go back, and I don't know how to go forward. And so I get halfway through. Like right now, I have it's like half finished. And it's just going to be like that forever unless somebody comes and bails me out of this problem. And I'll just sit there and cry. Basically, that's usually what happens. I'll just sit and cry and hope that somebody will come and fix it. So we'll see.
If we had an opportunity I would say like for Christmas he has 2 weeks off, so that would probably be the only time he'd be able to get down there. Because he
Did you know how far away it is, Virginia?
Yeah, I was gonna Google it, but
you're welcome to come visit. You don't have to do any work for me. I have people that will eventually get it done. I just gotta beg them.
Right. So. Well, doesn't your brother do all that stuff?
He does, but he's so busy. And the thing of it is people have, including me, to have a tendency to use his good talent. So now he's working and doing some stuff at a church.
And then that's the thing. People recognize good work, and then they, because that's what my husband's doing. He went back to work full time at the church that we used to attend.
All right.
They've been wanting him. He used to work there, and then we moved away for 8 years. And when we came back, they've been trying to get him to come back since we've been back, and we've been back. It's about 3.5 years we've been back, and they've been trying to get him to come back and work for him again. And he's like, look, they had a meeting, and he's like, this is what I have to make. And, so he got it to where they approved what he wanted and his conditions. And so he's been back there since August.
Oh, okay. Very good.
So, because they know what kind of work he can do and that he's going to actually do the work.
Right. Well, yeah, it's, it's one of those things where unfortunately feel like in the future, just FYI, I feel like it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse in most places because people just don't want to do that kind of work.
You're right.
And it's going to get more and more expensive to find people to do it.
Yep.
And it's just, for people that do get into the, industries, various industries, whether you're a plumber, electrician, or like I said, do a jack of all trades, you can do really well for yourself because there's so many people like myself that don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah. And you can pretty much say anything. And I'm sort of at their mercy to think, okay, well, yeah. I know what I can accept or not, but I don't really know. I mean, if that's what it's going to be. So
I'll be right back. Just talk to the people. There you go.
All right, let's try to read the chat. Let's see who. Two boys are still here. I thought Barbarian carried dynamite. Yes, I definitely do. Let's see, Ham fans. When the duct tape, he's a duct tape kind of guy. I'm a duct tape kind of guy myself. That's about as handy as I can be. I can stick something together that needs to be stuck together, and I can pry something apart that needs to be pulled apart. Aside from that, not really that much helpful at all. Nope, not at all. A Gorilla Glue. Yeah, I've used Gorilla Glue a few times. I'm actually right now, one of the things I am trying to work on that I feel like I may have a skill for is I have a custom pop that used to be right back here where B-span is, and it's very heavy, and the face, like the beard and the hair, is clay because that's how they make customs. It fell forward, so I'm trying to make a stand that like grips the neck, and it's almost like it's a doll stand, like a Barbie stand, but it's so small it won't hold up to something so heavy. So I'm mounting it to a wooden base. So I'm going to plan on mounting it to a wooden base. So I've cut a couple of squares. I'm going to glue it down and screw it, and then I'm going to put a bunch of rocks and sort of make like a little scene, and then paint it up, and then I'm going to put it up, and then I'll have my Barbarian back in its place at some point on the little stand, and hopefully the little thing that grabs it by the neck, and it won't fall forward or anything like that. So anyway, that's kind of that's the limit of my skill. And I don't even know if I have that kind of skill because it's sitting upstairs staring at me. And at some point I'm like, I need to do this thing. I need to psych myself up to do that. So let's see. Any Thanksgiving stories? I actually do have a couple Thanksgiving stories. I don't have a lot of them. One of them, for example, I have my wife's family was over for Thanksgiving. This was 8 years ago. And one of the grandchildren, who at that age, I think she was 3 or something like that. And we're all sitting around the dining room table and we're getting ready to eat. And there's probably, 11 of us or something like that. And the baby was running around, causing trouble. And for some reason, when people get together, my wife's family gets together and talks, they're busy talking. Nobody's really paying attention to the little ones. So I have a tendency to look around because I don't want the little ones tearing up my house or getting hurt, but definitely not tearing up my house. So I'm sort of out of the corner of my eye. I'm looking and I'm seeing this little child running around. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this with a little child. They run around and then they'll stop. They'll just suddenly stop and they'll stare. And well, I knew they're taking a dump. Okay. And again, people are just like, people are spooning out like turkey onto their plate and stuffing. And I can't focus on anything else except for a child that's clearly taking a dump in their diaper while this is going on. So I just like, okay, well, she's wearing a diaper. It's fine, blah, blah, blah. And so I decide I'm going to go back to eating my, getting stuff on my plate and get ready to eat my Thanksgiving meal. And I looked over and then she's sort of moving around again. So I guess it's over. She reaches into the back of her pants, under her diaper, and is digging around like this, and then pulls out her hand like this. And it is covered in the grossest, nasty. Why are you muting me?
I didn't want to hear that poop. You and your poop stories, man.
Yeah, well, somebody asked me for a Thanksgiving story. Did you unmute me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll finish very quickly. And it was covered in this chunky peanut butter nastiness. And then she's walking slowly, just like a horror film. Like these monsters walk slowly. And it's like everything's just slow towards the table. The thing, and I'm eating my meal. I'm thinking, and then I was like, stop. And everyone's like looking at me, like, what's going on? And I'm like pointing, get the child. She's coming at me. And she's walking and like she's gonna like touch and ruin Thanksgiving for me. And I wanted my turkey and gravy. Okay, that's priority one. So she got right to the table before they slowed her down and got her. And then of course they brought her over on my couch and cleaned her up. I'm like, oh, can't you do that somewhere else? Right on the couch, and just cleaned up the nastiness. And it was so gross. I mean, all the way from here, all the way down to here, it was covered in poop. Ugh. Children are gross.
Aren't you glad you never had any?
Yeah, I didn't have any of my own, but my wife had children and grandchildren, and then I have my nieces, so it's kind of like.
Weren't they almost grown when y'all got together, or were grown?
Her son was in 9th grade, and her daughter was graduating from high school at that time.
Oh, okay.
So they were still in the house, living at her house. I was living a distance away. I lived like 2.5 hours away at that point from her, so I only saw her on the weekends. And then I moved somewhere else where I was 3.5 hours away, the place where we had the infamous bat incident. And that was 3.5 hours away. And so early on, we got engaged within. I met her in May of 2000. Let's see, this is where I get in trouble. My wife's not listening, thank goodness. It was May of 2005, and we got engaged in December of 2005. We went to Las Vegas and got engaged, but we didn't get married until, let's see if I can really get 2015.
Jeez.
So almost 9.5 years we were engaged, and everyone was, of course, every time you tell that story, people are like, what a scumbag. You're a terrible person, because it sounds like, oh, you're just, trying to get the milk for free. And I was getting a lot of milk, and I was getting it for free. But it wasn't about that. It was the fact that I was living 3 hours away, and I would have only seen my wife like every just 2 days. So I was just like, that doesn't seem like, actually you've come to find out it's the perfect marriage. But I mean, it's just, I just didn't think it was appropriate. So we just stayed engaged for a really long time, and everyone just thought I was a terrible person, which I probably am. So
I'm going to show this for Eric since he's in here. He missed it.
Nice. Delightful. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like I said, do you have any Thanksgiving stories? You must have a Thanksgiving story or Halloween story, or.
No, not really.
Not really.
The boys go play football outside for Thanksgiving. That's pretty much it.
But not there. You never had a Thanksgiving that was kind of weird or something. I remember another one where I was I was trying to think how old I was. I was probably 21, 22, and we went up to visit my brother who lived in New Hampshire, and he was a pilot for U.S. Airways at that time, and he's just one of those little tiny airlines. Okay, and so he would fly during the day these like little 19-seater airplanes, and then in the night he would work at a movie theater, and he would sell popcorn and tickets and stuff because they don't pay you much when you're a pilot of a small airline. If you see these pilots of these small planes, they don't get paid much. They really don't.
Yeah.
Maybe now they can do it as their sole job, but then they couldn't. So he lived down there, but he had to work over Thanksgiving. So my parents had this idea. We weren't visiting my grandparents in upper, New Hampshire, and we were going to go down and visit him. And I think it was 2.5 hour drive or whatever. So my parents said, we're going to go visit my brother on Thanksgiving. I said, okay. I wasn't that in favor of it. You know what I mean? Because I was fine with, I don't want to drive on Thanksgiving. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so they're like, no. We're going to do this as a family. It'll be great. And in the back of my mind, I should have said this. I was like, okay, Thanksgiving, are there going to be any restaurants open? Where are we going to go and eat? Because he just lived he had this tiny little apartment, but I didn't say anything. I figured Dad knows he's a smart guy. That's when I realized, it's probably the first time I realized my dad's not that smart. You know how when you're a little kid, you think, oh, grown-ups are really smart and really intelligent. As you grow older, you realize they're not that smart. Okay, my parents aren't that clever. All right. So we got in a little car, we drive down 3 hours down the road, and we get to see my brother, and we surprise him. Hey, surprise, Thanksgiving. We're here for Thanksgiving. And he's like, oh, that's really nice. And so we started, well, what did you bring? Oh, well, we were going to bring Thanksgiving meal to you, but we figured we'd just go out to eat. We'll buy you a Thanksgiving meal out to eat, right? So he was like, oh, okay. And I could tell maybe he thought this was not going to work out. So he's like, that's good because I don't have any food in the house. Okay, poor. He was poor. I had no food in the house. We're going to go. So we get in the car, and he lived in a city now, and we just start driving around. This is probably, I don't know, 1998, 97, something like that. So we're driving. Nothing is open. We're driving around. No, closed. Just like remember Christmas Story where they go out to eat and there's like a Chinese restaurant. We figured we'd even try that. Nope. Chinese restaurants weren't even open on Thanksgiving. So we're driving around and figuring out what the hell are we gonna do now? So you know where we went to eat? Walgreens. We went to Walgreens and we went in there and like, what are we gonna eat at Walgreens? We're lucky they had a tiny little case and they had Hungry Man dinners. We each got a Hungry Man dinner and a bottle of soda. We went back to my brother's house, and that was our Thanksgiving that year. We had Hungry Man Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh, that's nice. That's one that you'll remember. That's the thing that's interesting. Those are the things I remember. The regular Thanksgivings, I don't really remember those too much. So, but it was interesting for sure. So we still talk about it to this day.
Well, what we do for Christmas is whenever we would take our Christmas trips, we would always take a little bit of what was left from Thanksgiving and bring it with us for Christmas because, 99% of restaurants are closed on Christmas Day. Like everything is closed on Christmas almost. So we would make sure that we would bring something and that we'd have our Christmas meal in the hotel. So we'd have our ham and our turkey and, everything that you would normally, Christmas in the room.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of interesting. Nowadays, I think you find that there are options because not everybody celebrates Thanksgiving. Not everybody celebrates Christmas, so there's probably places you could go. But back in those days, I mean, they literally rolled up the sidewalks when it came time for major holidays, and it just you were out of luck, and that's period. So, yeah, I mean, that's just one of those kind of things where lesson learned. But anyway, but my brother was glad to see it. We were glad to see him, etc. So what it was. Now Christmas, we always used to visit my grandparents in New Hampshire, Christmas Day, and my dad. We lived in Maine for many, many years. Most of my years from, third grade on to junior in high school, and we would get in our car and drive Christmas Day from there all the way. It took about 3.5 hours, and usually it was snowing, blizzardy conditions. People don't realize, people in Virginia don't think they get snow. They get an inch. I mean, we get 6 inches, 7 inches, and you're driving in a van or whatever down to see my grandparents, and because we wouldn't go the day before because my dad had midnight mass because he's a priest. And so we'd stay up and we go to midnight mass. We get up early in the morning, pack up all of our stuff in the car, and then drive down there. And we would have, whenever we got there, we would have our meal waiting for us. And then we would have Christmas. And Christmas was always a big deal for my family. So we always had a fun time. We had in my grandmother's living room, she would have gifts over every square inch of the floor. Because there was so many people that were sort of involved in my aunt, my uncles and such. And it was a lot of fun. The thing that I was telling my cousin about and my brother, the memories I remember, as you get old, you don't remember as much as you used to. So the things I remember are the things that went wrong, things that you think, like the regular Christmases were great, but there were always certain Christmases where certain things wouldn't quite go the way it is. When my grandmother got a little older, she got to a point where she couldn't wrap the gifts herself. So she would get one of my cousins to come over, and she put Post-it notes on all the boxes, and then the people would take the Post-it note off, wrap the gift, and put a little card on there with their name on it. Well, apparently, before this particular Christmas, she was using really old Post-it notes. Like, you go to my grandmother's house and things are old. You know how old people are. They have a lot of old stuff. So she used these old Post-it notes, had no glue on them. So she stuck all these things. All the Post-it notes fell off.
Oh, no.
So my cousin thought that she knew where they went, and she wrapped up all these gifts. And when it was time to hand out, we would hand out a gift. And like somebody was like, "Hey, Cleon, here's your gift." And I open up, and it's some frilly girl's nightgown. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure not mine. Okay. So we had to hold it up, and whose is this? And then it became, so that's basically, that Christmas became a free-for-all trying to figure out who got what. So.
Hey, baby eyes. Welcome back, Sharon. Well, this is what my dad and them used to do, and I didn't like it. I'm an only child, and my dad remarried. Like, he cheated on my mom with my stepmom. Oh. So when they got together, she already had 3 kids from a previous marriage. And I would go and stay over there, and I didn't have my own room, and I would always have to sleep on the sofa or on the floor. So for Christmas, they would make us all sleep in one of their rooms, either my stepbrother's room or my stepsister. I don't remember. I think it was her room, because hers was bigger because she didn't have, the 2 beds or whatever. I don't know. So they would make us all sleep in the room on the floor, and they would stay up really late watching TV, and you could hear the TV. And I was always trying to peek because I wanted to see who Santa was, So I'd get up to go to the bathroom, and they'd still be up watching TV, and it'd make me so mad because they would stay up so late, and the TV bothered me. I couldn't go to sleep because the TV was on. And then I finally would fall asleep. Well, they would make us put our jackets down because they didn't want to have to wrap presents. So we would put our jackets down, and then Santa would put our gifts on the jacket. Oh, and their piles were always bigger than mine. I don't understand mine. I didn't get as good a stuff as they did, and it used to make me feel so bad. I don't know. There was a lot of favoritism. They got way more. Like, I would get all their hand-me-downs. The boys would grow out of their Nike shoes, and she'd give them to me. And I mean, back then you could tell they were boys' shoes. Now you can kind of get away with it, and you can't really tell if it's boys or girls. You could definitely tell back then it was boys' shoes. Yeah. And it was rough. It was not great experiences. So I don't try to remember those, even though, like you said, you remember the bad stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, whether what you want to remember, sometimes you'd like to get rid of some of these thoughts, but unfortunately, that's just how it is. But yeah, it was one of those things where, You know, they just were. I mean, for myself, I got a lot of hand-me-downs. My brother's hand-me-downs. It's like, it's interesting how people's memories work, because my memories of things are very different than my brother's memories of things. Like, he always thinks I was spoiled, and oh, mom and dad were always rough on me, and that's 100% not true. I don't know what he's thinking about. My parents blamed me for every single thing. That to this day, they think he was a saint. He was a little saint, little John. His name is John Paul. They think he's saint. He think he's the Pope, John Paul. He is not. It's just like, he put me up to every bad thing that you could possibly think of. He's like, oh, you need to go do this. And then, of course, I was so stupid enough that I'd actually listen to him, and he'd get me in trouble every single time. So I don't know. I mean, I got him back a couple times. I mean, my dad loves to tell this story of when we were living in Newfoundland. He had a little science experiment he had to do. He had like a little science, you know what I'm talking about, like a science fair. Have you ever done been to a science fair? And so he had a little science fair, and his science fair was really lame. Growing tomato plants. I'm like, first of all, okay, you're not breaking any major barriers here. Everyone knows how to grow tomato plants, but in Newfoundland, nothing grows very well. Rocks grow. That's basically what grows. So he was trying to, I don't know, maybe it was some other thing, I don't know, but he was growing these little, the little cherry tomato plants, and he had them on the little windowsill, and he said something to me and pissed me off. We used to have a shared room, and I came in, and I was so pissed off at him. I picked every friggin' one of those little tomato off that tomato plant and threw them out the window. He came in and saw what I'd done, and he erupted like a volcano. He tried to kill.
That could have been the project of the volcano.
So that was it. That was the last day we had to share a room together. So we actually got our own rooms and stuff like that. Because the thing was kind of interesting is when you're a priest in Canada, you're actually an employee of the government. Okay, because there's no separation of church and state there. So you're sort of a government employee. It's kind of weird. But anyway, and inside our house, they had what they call a bishop's room. There's a room that you have to set aside for the bishop whenever he comes and visits. He never visited. Never. Well, I mean, he visited maybe once or twice. But we had to set aside a room. And meanwhile, me and my brother almost killing each other in our room. So my dad had to let the bishop know, just so you know, if you come and visit, there'll be somebody else in there already. Because my youngest son is getting shipped into that room. So I had to get moved into the bishop's room.
Hey, Anthony. Thanks for coming in. Hey, Mr. Holly, what's going on? What up, Joe? Mr. George Lucas.
What's happening, buddy?
He is hilarious. He needs to make more videos. He cracks me up.
Mr. Holly English.
Yeah.
No intro, no outro.
No, nothing. But, I mean, he is hilarious. I love him to death. He's from Alabama, I think. I love that. Not that I like Alabama, but he's Southern, so that makes me happy.
But
he's funny, though. He's hilarious. In one of the last videos, his daughter's steady talking in the background like he's recording, sitting at his table. And, hey, Thomas. And you could hear his daughter on that side of the camera just, and he's just like, oh, man, I was cracking up. Thomas is a new Patreon of mine.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's funny, Mr. Holland. I wonder if he's a teacher.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I just get that teacher vibe.
Do you get a teacher vibe from me? I was a teacher. You didn't know that? You don't get a teacher vibe from me?
I didn't know you were a teacher.
I was.
What kind of teacher?
I taught academics. I taught adult basic education, level 1, the low level, for 2.5 years. And then I taught business education, like business software, computer stuff, for 2.5 years. Before I
he's from
moved
Detroit,
up.
Michigan. I thought I heard you say something about Alabama the other day.
He said no, like that you've offended him. He said no in the way you offended him. Whoops.
Yeah, I thought I heard him say something about Alabama the other day. So I was like, oh, he must be from Alabama. Oh, well.
Oh, well. The thing is Detroit's not even close to Alabama. You couldn't have been that much further
He does
out.
live in Alabama. I live in Alabama. See?
Oh. Okay.
He's from Detroit.
He's from Detroit. He doesn't want to. He lives in Alabama, but he doesn't want to be considered an Alabaman. Am I right? Is that what it is? That's the impression I'm getting.
I mean, hey, I was right though. I said I didn't mean he was from when I say I'm from somewhere is where I live at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think most people when you say from, I think that means you were born there. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's the impression I got. Like if you say if you say you live there, that's fine. But if you say you're from, like if somebody says you're from Virginia, I would say no, that's not accurate. I'm a New Englander. Okay. So
I just said it wrong. He lives in Alabama.
You were half right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, a third. You were a third right. No, 25%.
You were right. I was half right. That was a good one.
I don't think you were that much. I'm giving you too much credit here. Too much credit.
Well, I was going to say something else. Oh, I was a teacher.
Oh yeah, what'd you teach?
Little kids, like pre-K and stuff.
You have a lot more patience than I do. I only taught adults, so I'm not interested.
Well, look, let me tell you. I think I don't want to work with kids, but every situation that I've gotten put in or job opportunities came about, it was always working with kids, and I'm like, it's just like meant for me to work with kids, and I don't want to. So I don't know. Hey, Johnny Funko. So I mean, I don't know. I've worked at a Mother's Day Out a couple of times, 2 different churches. I've done. I've worked in the nursery at church. I've worked in a children's department at a church. I've worked pre-K at a school. I taught. I was a sub before for different schools, and so yeah, worked a lot with kids.
Yeah, I've never had to teach children. I've all of my education that I still work in education has been with adults. It's always just working with adults. So
and I
just don't have patience for children.
I've worked with youth age kids like 8th grade to high school. So yeah, pretty much all my adult life is pretty much. I worked at a daycare before, so I just worked with kids pretty much my whole life.
You must have a lot of patience. I wish you'd have more patience with me. I mean, I'm basically a big toddler, so you really need to have more patience. Because I'm thinking, if this is how you treat children, I mean, you really need to work on it.
That's why I said I don't want to work with them, but somehow I keep getting jobs.
That's because nobody else wants to work with them either. So they're just like, we can find somebody that's kind of willing
you're
to
so
do it.
good with them here. Yeah.
You're right.
Yep. As soon as my husband went back to work at the church that he used to work at, they did a welcome reception for him. Like they had lunch and we played games and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I walked in, hey, do you want to come back and work? In the children's like Mother's Day Out, I'm like, the amount of money I can make working that is this little tiny. I could do one whatnot auction and make more in that one whatnot auction than I can a whole month working over there.
Yikes!
So I was like, I'd rather just do the auctions because that's only a couple of hours and I make the same amount I would for the whole month.
Right.
You know? So.
Yeah, I mean, being an educator is not really what I consider a lucrative option for sure.
Yeah.
So it's especially working with, like I said, younger kids can be really, really challenging.
They're definitely needed, though. It's hard to find good teachers these days.
It really is. I mean, there's such a shortage of instructors nowadays, and in Virginia, they make you jump through a million hoops nowadays too. I mean, they don't make it easy for people. Used to years ago, when I got my teacher's license, you used to have to do like 5 or 6 things. Now you have to do like 10 things. You have to have all this and that. Just like you're looking for people, and you're making it more difficult for people to get the job. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. So,
well, and you have to put up with more though than you used to too. because kids aren't as obedient. Like, they're more out of control now than they used to be. And the discipline, you can't do as much as you used to with discipline. And like, I had a friend who was a teacher, and she had a student that was out of control, but the guidelines that she had to follow, there was nothing that she could do. Right. It was like he could come in and run the class, and she just might as well hand over the keys to him, because he had more rights in the classroom than she did. And it got to the point where she just didn't even want to teach anymore.
Well, the frustrating thing about that is when, those type of things happen, is it's not just irritating to the teacher, it's affecting the other children. I mean, if there's so much of a disruption, there's no way for children to learn. So it's not about, just disrupting me and irritating, making my life miserable. It's making the other kids unable to learn anything. So, I mean, that's the part that I really would have a problem with, as far as that. Like I said, luckily I work with adults, and things are a lot simpler, but yeah, it's just one of those type of things where that's the really frustrating thing, is people that are disrupting the other students. And
they don't do spankings anymore. Handpan, definitely don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a few private schools, but I would even think 99% of the private schools, you probably have a real.
My son goes to private school, and they
don't really do stuff. And when I lived in Canada, and I went, they used to do it there.
Yeah.
And it took one time, and I was pretty much over it at that point. I didn't really need additional paddlings beyond the once. So
usually that's all you need, But
I was a hooligan. I was a bit of a hooligan, but it was after school hours.
Yeah.
So my dad would get all bent out of shape because I would set fires down on the beach, and we had teeter-totters, and I'd put rocks on them and fire them over this cliff that would land on people's cars and stuff like that.
What?
So, yeah. I mean, but everyone did that. All kids did that, Just like.
I know my oldest was out of control, and we would tell him stuff, and he's like, "Oh no, no." Like, he learned about freedom of speech, and he used that at home. He'd come home and he'd say, "I can say whatever I want. It's freedom of speech."
Whoops.
And we're like, "Wait, what?" So then we would sit down and we'd talk to him and tell him all these things, and he's like, "Yeah, whatever." So one day I had a cousin that was a cop. So we called him. We said, "Hey, we need you to come to the house and talk to, Alex." And so he comes over, and we tell him, we say, "Hey, tell him what happens when you do this," or, everything we had sat there and talked to him about. We brought it up, and he told him almost the exact thing we said, word for word. And I mean, we didn't talk to him ahead of time to tell him, "Hey, this is what you need to say." He came, and, we explained to him what was the issue and what we had talked about. And he said everything we said, and we were like, "See, we told you. We weren't lying to you or, telling you some crazy off the wall stuff. We were actually, being truthful, and this can happen." But yeah, he didn't ever believe anything we had to say. He had to either, hey, Tats, he had to look it up for himself, or, find out from other people, or learn himself. So
Eric seems to think that I was a felon. You know what I mean? I didn't smash people's mailboxes or anything like that. Let's not get crazy. You know what I mean? This was when I was very, very young. This was between the ages of 3 and 7. So I was a really young little kid. And I did have a sort of a story related to when my brother and I used to go over to the school, and they had, like I said, the teeter-totters. You know what I'm talking about? If I told you the story about the teeter-totters? And
you just said it.
Huh? Well, there's more to this particular story. So my brother and I so what I would do is I would put the rocks on like one side of the teeter-totter, pile them up, and then the other person would run and jump and land on the other thing, and it would shoot the rocks over like a catapult. Pow! And it would fire the rocks over like this cliff, because there's a lot of cliffs, and down below there'd be a road, and it would pelt people's cars with like gravel. like small little stones, right? Which was not very nice, but I mean, you know how kids are. Anyway, so we would do this thing, right? So my brother would make me load the rocks up most of the time. Sometimes I got to do the other thing, and then he would run and jump on the thing, right? So I'm loading the things, and then I'm supposed to say, and you say ready, and you say go, and then you move out of the way, and he'd go and jump on the other thing. Well, I'm loading up the rocks, and he said ready, and I said huh, and so he thought it meant go, so he ran and jumped and landed on the other thing, and I was still had here, and it went up and hit me under the chin, and my teeth went through my bottom lip. Because I mean, you're talking about a whole person on the other, and went boom and knocked me like back, and there was blood everywhere. Like my shirt was covered, my face was covered, and it probably knocked me out a little bit. I don't really remember that part, but I just like got up, and my brother was like, "Oh," so we walked down to tell my parents, and luckily in town there was, because we lived in a tiny little town in Newfoundland that had this doctor. And they don't really have modern medicine in the same way that you'd think they would have modern medicine. So the doctor's like, well, you need stitches. So he got a needle and thread, and no Novocaine, no shot, no nothing, and just stuck it in. And oh my God, they said the screaming was horrible, just absolutely horrible. And they had to stitch me up. I had like 7 stitches. I had some on my lip. You can still, I mean, you can't see it on the camera, but there's a stitch in my lip. There's all this stitching underneath. That's part of the reason why I have a beard. It sort of covers up some of the stitch marks underneath, but not very good. Yeah, not very good. But I did get my brother back. So I was chasing him around in the basement one time, and I had a stick with a nail sticking out of it, and I was chasing him with it. I wasn't going to actually hit him. I mean, well, maybe I was. And this was, and so he's like, and he's running, and he's going to jump out one of those little windows in like a basement. He goes to climb up, and he stands on this. I don't know if it was like a ladder or something like that. And the board kicked away, and there was a nail sticking out, and it jabbed him in the leg, and then it pushed down, and it ripped his leg open from like here. It was like this long of, it just tore. It went into the muscle and ripped the muscle out. And I think he needed like 40 stitches or something like that.
Oh my
and they and the same place, they didn't have any shot or anything, so they had to hold him down while they were stitching through his muscle. Very unpleasant. Very, very, very unpleasant.
Fam said he was a fire starter as well. Him and his older brother accidentally burnt down a small airport.
Yikes.
Lighting ant hills on fire.
Do we need to report this? Is this I hope not. The only thing I burned was like dry driftwood type of thing, but it's still my dad. It embarrassed him, so he because when you live in a little town and you're the priest's son, everybody knows what you're doing. And
hey, Zach, you're supposed to be good when you're the priest's son.
Well, you know what they say. There's like this thing that they say. People are like PKs, which is a priest kid. Yeah. They're the worst kid. Like,
that's true.
Because you would think that they would be the best kid, but they're sort of revolting against all that other stuff. So,
BBC is the Dr. Seuss of YouTube. Yeah, that's like whenever we moved we had went to go help start a church, and the people that we got involved with to help them out thought that my kids were PK kids and all this and that they were stuck up and stuff, and far from it. So they
realized I wasn't a real troublemaker. It was just like these small little things.
Yeah.
But people want to make a big deal out of it. So what are you going to do?
All right. Well, it's been almost 2.5 hours. So I guess we will head out. I have a football game to go watch. I don't have a TV in here, so I can't like talk to you and watch.
Are you at some point going to have a TV in there?
I don't know. I never thought about it, but maybe.
That'd be cool.
You might have.
I mean, you could do like I have a TV over here. You could do like a stream where you can't obviously show the TV screen, but where everyone's watching the same thing. I thought that might be cool at some point. Yeah. I never thought about it. I guess cool. I'll have to. Yeah, and we'll have to do like what we were talking about before. See if we can set up something where we can, do a thing where see if people want to send us some art of the, Sassy Barbarian show, so we can do some stickers, make some stickers out of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we can get together and get do like a pop or a whatever it is. So.
Yeah, we could say something about it too on a video.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, mine are scheduled for the week, so it would be another week or so. But if you have a new one you need to record, you could definitely.
I need to record one today at some point to do my.
Well, there you go. You could say it in today. You get more people that respond to what you ask for than I do. So
people listen to me and people don't listen to you. Is that what you're saying?
I think it's just the authority of the
authority. I need my authority.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'll definitely do it. I'll see if I can reach out to people and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, sure. I'm about to go, Sharon. His nose is getting bigger.
These are. I'm telling you, I'm going to get a lie detector. I need to get a lie detector guy to hook me up.
He said they're all true.
They're all true. I mean, I'm telling you, I could embellish them way more than this. I mean, this is how it is. You know what I'm saying? I wish they weren't. This is why I'm the way I am. I'm scarred emotionally from these things. I don't get a chance to go to confession or see a psychiatrist. So this is really my opportunity to share my thoughts. And Sassy's sort of like a therapist for me. You know what I'm saying? Although it tends to make me crazier. So that's not in a good way. So
well, you choose to say what you want to say. So
is that right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to help fill time too. I'm trying to make it interesting for people and get people to understand and pity me. I'm hoping for pity. I haven't gotten any.
So you think they're here just for you?
Mainly. Sure.
All right. Scary stories to tell on an arc. You know what I think would be cool? Like to have a big old ship and have us on there together, but I don't know. Like you would have like a Mardi Gras mask on, and then I would look like a barbarian. I don't know. That would be kind of cool.
Okay.
I don't know. Kind of a matchup of me and you. So like you would have the Mardi Gras look, and I would have the barbarian kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, like I said, let's see if we can give some suggestions and offer some, and we'll see what people come up with. Hopefully they'll come up with something really good.
Yeah, and whoever wins, we'll get together and figure out, whatever it is, and then we'll be giving out the stickers. So
yeah, absolutely. That would be cool.
Whew, that thing is annoying.
All right, everybody. I hope everyone has a
BBC needs a mask.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually have one, but I was going to wear it today, but it was too hot. I've been sweaty. You know how sweaty I'd be right now? I would have been like a big puddle of water at this point. I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Plus, this is the moneymaker. You know what I mean? So right.
Yeah. Well, my hair is probably never going to go up again because I have like a slight headache from it being up.
You have a what?
A headache, like a slight headache.
You put it so tight that it's pulling at your brain?
Tight, but I mean, there's two little ponytail holders in there.
Okay.
Does it make me look younger?
I'm supposed to say yes, right? Is that I'm not good at these promptings. You know what I'm saying? My wife will do that. Does this pants make my butt look big? I'm like, am I supposed to say yes here, or am I supposed to lie? Insert lie here. Yes, it does. Makes you look very young. You look like you need to be back in school again.
Just honesty. That's all I want.
Is that what you're looking for? Yeah, that makes you look like a nerd, which I think is what you were going for. So there you go.
Yeah, if it doesn't make me look younger, then I don't want to do it again. Because I only want to look younger.
Well, then I guess you're going to have to try something.
I mean, I already know I look younger than you do.
You do not.
I
look very young. I look like I'm in my mid-20s.
I actually was talking to Mike Pratt about that the other day, and he's like, yeah, you look like you're in your 30s.
He's just trying to be nice.
Today's his birthday, so don't forget to message him and say happy birthday.
No, Facebook told me it was his birthday. It's very strange to have a birthday on Halloween, but that's what some people
do. He's a boo baby.
He's a boo baby.
A boo baby. And have you talked to him recently?
Last night I spoke to him briefly last night.
That's good. Okay.
I bet it had been a while, but he's real busy doing other things for his family and such. So I understand. I mean, people get real busy at this time of year. I've been real busy trying to get this other stuff done, and so that's what happens sometimes. So.
It didn't matter, Zach. I was just a nerd. Probably Saved by the Bell.
Was Sassy in Revenge of the Nerds or a nerd in Saved by the Bell? What nerds were in Saved by the Bell? It was just Screech, right? So you're trying to look like Screech? She was trying to look like Problem Child. You know that little child in Problem Child where he took the little bow tie off of the doll and put it on his neck so people would think he's sane and he was crazy. That's kind of what it was.
I'll have to go back and watch that because I don't know what you're talking about.
You never saw the movie Problem Child?
Yeah, I just
with John Ritter, and he adopted this child, and the child was insane.
You're saying I look like that little boy?
Right.
Why do I look like a little boy?
Well, you had the bow tie. You had the
little. I have pigtails.
No. But like when people have a bow tie, normally there's like a dress shirt incorporated. You put a bow tie over a T-shirt, and that's what he would do. So that's the part that totally threw me. I didn't know what you were headed for. I thought you were going to wear some sort of like a Poindexter shirt with, checks on it or something like that. Have a pocket protector in there or whatever.
No. Eric said when the kids come to the door, don't yell at them.
We don't get kids at our door. Yeah, they're not allowed here. They're not allowed. So we're sort of on a main street. We don't get a lot of kids here. And I turned out the lights. So I actually think somebody said that they might have gone trick-or-treating yesterday. I think there are places where that's happened because I was thinking that's weird. I mean, I could see if Halloween was on like a weekday, but it's not. It's on a Sunday, but I had heard something that maybe they did it Saturday. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I was hiding in the bedroom. My wife's not here to hand out the candy, so there's not going to be any candy. And of course, like I said, the kids never come to our door anyway because we're on a bit more of a main street. So kids don't do as trick or treat the way they used to. Kids, they go to these quote unquote trunk or treats. You know what I'm talking about? They'll go to some, if it's a church or something like that, they have a bunch of trunks and they just walk around and people give them fistfuls of candy. I had to work for my candy. I had to go around and insult people and pretend to be this person. And then I would switch masks. So I'd get good candy from the same people over and over again. And then I would do, shake down some of the younger kids. I had to work to get that candy now. That kids, today are just spoiled. They're just like, Mom, buy me a bag of candy. If I had told my parents to buy me a bag of candy, they'd hit me over the side of the head. Said, you need to go hustle for that candy. So.
Well, all right, everybody. You have a good afternoon. Thanks for coming today.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween. Be safe tonight. If you're going to any parties, don't drink and drive. And make sure you take all the good candy from the kids. Hey, Brian. Well, we are just about to sign off.
My dad would do that. He would like, because back in the old days, people were putting like razor blades into things, or you would hear stories of people putting my dad's like, they could poison this. Let me try this. And he's just like, why don't you try the candy I don't want? He's always pulling and getting my Snickers bars and stuff. I'm like, no. I said, you can have the apples. That's where people would poison.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a good rest of the weekend. I will see you on Tuesday. We'll be on Eric's channel, The Luau, packing boxes. Yeah, that's all right.
Well, Luau is going to be on Tuesday?
The Luau will be on Tuesday. Yeah.
Very good.
So it'll be on Eric's channel this week. So we're going to start rotating.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that way I can get my watch hours up.
That's good.
I'm getting there. It's happening.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my watch hours up, but the person that I switch with doesn't want to switch. So
I mean, we can. You never said that at the beginning that you wanted to.
I wasn't worried about it then. Now I'm worried about it. I got my subscribers. Now I got no hours to get.
Well, the next time you want to go live and do Sassy Barbarian, we can do it on your channel.
That's okay. Well, I'll work it out. I'm going to start doing more of my giveaways live, so it's all good. So.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.